This version of It's Eric Nagel has been modified from its original broadcast. Content has been edited to fit this platform.
This episode of It's Eric Nagel brought to you by 22 Sierra Coffee. Listeners of It's Eric Nagel can get 15% off their order by using promo code ERIC, that's E-R-I-K, at checkout, 22sierracoffee.com. Use the promo code ERIC for 15% off.
Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.
Are you ready? I said, are you ready?
It's Eric Nagel, and it starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the universe, the next voice you hear, it's Eric Nagel.
And thank you, Scott Shannon. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the program. I am Eric Nagel. And joining me, as always, from the frozen tundra known as Arizona, say hello to Jordan.
Hi, everybody.
If you're listening on the iHeart Radio app, we got some updates we got to give everybody in just a moment, but thank you for doing so. If you're listening on Apple and Spotify, those fine quality streaming platforms, do us a kindness, go over there, leave us a positive review. It does help out the program. If you want to join us live each and every week as we do this program, you can head over to our live rooms on YouTube and on Twitch at It's Eric Nagel. And if you can't be bothered to give up your time at that particular moment when we're doing all of this and you want to watch it, listen to it at your own convenience, feel free to do so. The videos are all up on It's Eric Nagel on YouTube. How you doing, Jordan?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing fine. I want to bring something to everybody's attention that I just found out is a thing, and apparently it's important. Where is it? Right here.
It's not like us to not be on top of things.
Yeah, well, when you don't care about what's going on in this business right? Most of the time, sometimes shit gets past you. Not everything, but sometimes little things get past you. If you're listening on the iHeart Radio app, apparently this is important. So take a look at this. So they redid the app. If you see up there at the top, they have these presets now. And apparently that means something to the people in the company. So if you could set our show to that first spot. You know what this is? It's fucking MySpace all over again. Who's in your top 8?
In their top 8.
Yeah, who's in the top 8? And wait, if I'm in your top 8, how come I'm not your number 1 in your top 8? Right. Because you're not. It's randomly organized. I don't even care. Now I'm removing you from your top 8. Wait, there's a 16 now? No, I'm not upgrading the service. I'm not. I
can't even load your page. You've got the latest Linkin Park song off Hybrid Theory playing while there's 1,000 things playing in the background.
Screw it. I'm going back to Friendster and LiveJournal where things were much simpler and a bit more clunky and unorganized.
Right.
But if you have the app, if you could do us this kindness, go over there, find the show, hit that little plus up there on the top. You can see it. Put the It's Eric Nagel show up there. It means something to somebody. It doesn't to us, but apparently in the company it does. So
I can't believe they're going to that level of tracking those kinds of things, like who's top 8 and doing that level. Like,
they track podcasts, they're tracking shows, they're tracking even the radio stations. You can set a radio station to. It's like. Remember your dad's old whatever car that your dad had, and you had the tune-in radio, and you'd press the one button, and you hear the squelch as the dial moved physically up and down the turn. It would go whoosh to get to your dad's favorite station.
Yeah, it was like really tuning.
Button
was this that
3,
red line that would go over?
Yeah, button 3 is when your mom's in the car. She hits that button and it goes to her dumb station, whatever she was listening to. And then you don't want to listen to either one of your parent stations. You're on number 5, so you hit that, so it goes over to the station that you want to listen to. And then your dad smacks your hand and says, touch that again and I'll break your hand. This is my car. And you're stuck listening to fucking doo-wop for the rest of the time. Is it just me? Am I venting? I think so. But anyway.
My dad was like, look, this is the only weekend I get with you this month. Stop messing with the radio.
We had different childhoods.
Yeah, we really did.
I couldn't leave his sight half. And he would smoke like a chimney, and he would lock the windows, so I couldn't open up the windows because he said the air conditioning's on. And I said, yes, but I'm dying inside. I need to open the window, and he would not. It was the 80s. It was a whole different thing. There was barely even seatbelts. And then he would pull up to 7-Eleven, hand me a 20, and then tell me to go in and get him a carton of Carlton 100s. And you know what? They sold it to me because you just say, my dad's right there in the car, and they sold you a carton of cigarettes.
You just had to point out, and then the dad would wave.
Yeah, right there.
Like,
I throw the money down because he knew exactly what it is. There wasn't the tax and all that other stuff. Here's the $16, whatever it was, for the carton of cigarettes, and you'd walk out. A 12-year-old is walking out of 7-Eleven with a carton of cigarettes to hand to his dad in the car. Back to the app. Do us a favor, go over there and once again leave us, put us in the first spot there. It does help out. What was I listening to recently? They have a punk station on there called Punk Tacos, which I don't know why it was called that. It's not a terrible name, but I was listening to the Punk Tacos channel, and then of course our pals Brody and Skiri from the Elvis Duran show with their Brooklyn Boys show, and I think I was spying on Trevor because Q104 is the station that he's on. So you can see what I was doing there. And also listening to my own show at that point. I guess that, I was checking to make sure they fixed the commercials. And
I was going to say, because we did get a nice verbal shellacking from people saying, well, why didn't you listen to your own show to find out where the commercials are placed? Because that's your job.
That's your job to report to us if things are sucking.
Right.
Yeah.
Give us the information.
That is my free labor. Is you, the listening audience. Go put us in the first preset. How many times I got to tell you this? Okay. We're done with that. Let's bring Kira on. Kira's here. Hi, Kira.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I feel kind of oddball out because I'm not wearing green, but the only thing I have that's green is in the washer and smells like old salt water. So.
All right. So we're going to kick her out. So she's done. That was nice having Kira on the show. There she is.
But also, might get kicked too. I thought that it said Pink Tacos, totally different type of podcast, but that's exactly what I.
Yeah, that's the gay punk channel. They're all into the what's her name? Chapel Ronan. Yeah.
Chaperone.
Whatever. Chaperone.
Ronan. Did you just say Ronan?
Yeah, I don't know what her name is. Pink Taco Club. We're just sitting here moshing in the Pink Taco Club. Maybe that should be the name of the show, actually.
Now I'm hungry.
Write that down. Where's my pens?
Tacos? Don't answer that. I don't need to know. I was
going to say, there used to be I don't know if it still exists. I know they used to have one out here in Scottsdale where is that the Pink Taco? They had that taco place and everyone was like, oh, that's funny. I get it. I never went.
I get it.
Oh. Yeah,
it's a good joke.
You know a lot about it. You never went, I'm sure.
I have 2 kids, man.
Kira is a longtime friend. Last time you were on the show was when we were live in San Diego.
San Diego, yeah.
MSBC, yeah.
Yeah, you were on the live show that we did there. Why is everything sounding muffling? What happened? Am I losing my hearing? Am I finally
actually
time to go finally?
Eric, we actually figured out what the actual artist is. It was a Chippa-rone.
Fucking yeah.
Fucking nailed it.
Pink Pekka Club. I'm fucking pole dancing at the Pink Pekka Club.
Oh, God.
She doesn't know what Chippa is. We just sound like lunatics.
Always to me, though.
Yes.
There's no filter in my brain that you go through that doesn't make you sound like a lunatic to me.
I know. There's no way of being normal around regular people. Kira was last time she was on the show was when we were out at San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
And we won't get too much into it because I know you have a new venture coming up, which I don't know if you can talk about or not, but if you can't, that's totally fine. Kira is a fellow radio person, and just like everybody else, has had to deal with issues that we've all faced for the last 9, 10, 11 months. Yeah. More so since August. It's been a nonstop tidal wave of everybody losing their job left and right. But she rebounded quickly and she's going on a new venture. So one day she will tell us where she's going. But for now, it's a mystery. We're just going to have to resort to good old fashioned stalking and we'll just see where she goes.
Well, and I mean, I can tell you offline, but not online. So,
okay.
Yeah. How do you say that? Confidentiality. There we go.
She speaks on the radio, so she's just as good as the rest of us.
I speak on the radio, and I have an English degree. You would think that I could have a conversation. Evidently not.
Nope, that's not what they pay us for.
Nope.
Well, good on you. Very happy for you.
Thanks.
What is it that they do on St. Patrick's Day if you don't wear green? Is it pinching? Was that the old thing?
You pinch the other person.
If you pinch me, I swear.
Yeah, if you pinch me, do I not bleed? Well, you're not supposed to, but apparently you are.
It hurts. I gotta say, pinching is one of the most annoying things on the planet. Aside from Eric's voice.
I know. I mean, that's just a given.
Yeah, that's true. I am Irish, though. I'm half Irish, so I feel like it's just.
Well, you do look deathly pale, so it does make sense. I mean,
it's just
we all are. It does look that way, but I'm wearing my I'm festive green. We are. This is our St. Patrick's kind of show. We're not doing kegs and eggs and what other radio staples that they do.
Oh, I know. Yeah, they do the Easter keg hunt out here where they hide kegs everywhere. I'm like, okay.
I mean,
like the little mini Heineken kegs.
I think so.
Like the big giant kegs.
Could you imagine? I think it might be the Heineken kegs.
I would like to do. All right, I'm curious now. How do you do an Easter keg hunt? How do you do that?
If I remember correctly, they would hide like the little kegs all over like different parts of like Phoenix, Scottsdale, all that stuff. And then they would give hints on the radio. And then like I remember one time this was when I was driving into work and I was listening on the radio. It's the local rock station. And they were doing it and they gave a hint. And I'm like, I'm literally like right down the street. I know exactly where this is. I pull up and 5 other cars are like racing to get to the spot. And you can see guys just running out of the cars looking for this tiny little keg to get, I don't know what you're winning, but
is it like a golden keg?
No, not that I know of.
That doesn't make you wouldn't. I guess you would win money, right? It's
I would think it was either money or concert tickets to the local like show that they put on in the summer that they do here. And
I need to see footage or photos of this thing because I'm still having a hard time imagining this. So everyone's looking to find a hidden keg. You find the keg, then what? How is it? If it's a giant keg,
drink.
Yeah. If it's a full keg, how are you getting that into your car and taking it home?
I think wouldn't you just take a picture of it and then whoever put it there takes it back? That would make more sense.
I would just steal the keg and forget about the promotion then. Just take it home and then let the radio station have to explain to the distributor, like look, the guy took it. All right, we don't know
you
who
can't
took
tax
it,
the beer.
Yeah.
You'll tax my winnings.
Some guy went on top of scaffolding and was throwing it at some kind of Italian plumber who was trying to save a woman, and Donkey Kong was happening in live traffic. I would love to, you know what? Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's go in the middle of New York traffic.
Just throwing
kegs and recreate Donkey Kong and all kinds of chaos.
Insurance was
See, we should have done that a couple days ago for Mario Day.
Yeah.
Which everyone was
even better.
That would have been great.
How did you celebrate your Mario Day?
Me personally, pre-ordered Legos like an adult.
Oh, I should have done that. They came out with a new one.
The Mario Kart comes out in May.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Oh.
So I pre-ordered that, but that's about it. There wasn't any good like Nintendo like Switch deals that I wanted, and I have all the other games, so it's like there's really nothing else for me.
You know what I just saw on TikTok? Side note, that has to do with it. You can download old like DS and DS. I don't think Switch games, DS and other like older like 2000s games onto an iPad. Wii games onto an iPad and play
them. I don't know if it's Nintendo sanctioned. So
wait a minute. How are you putting Wii games on an iPad? They're way too complicated.
You just
no idea. How are you getting any of those? They came in cartridges. How are you putting any of those
like
onto
the
an
Nintendo,
iPad?
Super Nintendo, even up to like the 64. Maybe even what was the game disc? What was the one after? GameCube. GameCube might be a little bit more difficult, but up to the 64, they have them on they were selling their own emulators, like their own.
Well, yeah, you can put emulators on there, and you can put that on there. The problem with anything touchscreen is that when you have those controllers that have like 5-6 different things you have to press at all times.
Yeah, but the Wii
you can't do that on the thing.
The Wii had a whole different dynamic because you had light sensors.
It's all motion control.
So
it was all I don't know, and I think it's only certain ones which would make more sense. You can't get like Just Dance Revolution or something on it, but you can do Super Mario.
You can do it on your phone. Watch, see, look at what is it?
Yeah, but again, that's a cartridge kind of game. You can.
I know, but that's just what I'm saying. Like the technology exists to do these things.
But if you wanted to like download like the old staple of Wii Bowling,
yeah, you can't do that.
Or or carnival games, or even the Wii Punch-Out, which was fucking fantastic because it brought all the different Punch-Outs together and added new stuff. I would love to do. You should do Dance Dance Revolution. Put it on your iPad. Put the iPad on the floor, and then hope for the best.
Not on the iPad.
Here's the thing: like Dance Dance Revolution still exists. They still put them out, but they don't add motion controls in. Most of the time, you add it to your cell phone now. Like there's a separate app that comes with these like games for like the Switch, and like you can have the Wii control, the Switch, the Joy-Cons, but then you can add like 5 other people to play with you using your cell phone. It's weird. I've never done it, but I know it exists. And I'm like, no, thanks. I'm good.
I don't like that at all.
I need the power pad where I can just get on my hands and knees and make the guy run fast.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got that one year for, I think it was my birthday, the track and field pad.
The track and field pad, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And my room was on the second floor above the kitchen. And
of course it was.
You never used it like how you were supposed to run on the thing. You used it where you put it down on the ground, like Jordan said, and you just pound your fists on the thing. Well, apparently I was knocking stuff down off the walls and all that stuff because like me and my friend were sitting there doing, because you got to sit there and you run and then you jump. You got to hit it really hard to jump and you wait and then you hit it really hard again to land the correct way. And
what kind of apartment complex were you living in?
No, this was a house. This was a
house.
This was a full. Yeah, it was.
Eric's like slumming it in an apartment. Never.
It was.
Never.
It was a nice place on Long Island, and then I was told that particular present was going back. And it was taken back the next day while I was at school. My mom took it and returned it. She shoved it back into the box. It doesn't fold the right way to go back into the box. She took it and returned it.
Well, yeah, you're breaking shit on the walls.
Yeah, I got a Nintendo Advantage controller instead, which I think I made out better in that deal. The big square.
Yeah, the big fat square one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to do it. We'd put the pad down on there, and then we'd get on our hands and knees and just smash it with our hands. Like, none of us were actually running. And, yeah, the little guy would just run across the thing. We'd always beat the last guy. Was like Cheetah. They always had, like, animal names. So, yeah, those were dumb.
I always remember the Nintendo Advantage showing up in Ghostbusters 2 as the mechanism that was controlling the Statue of Liberty as it was walking down Manhattan. And then Ray going, can't this thing go any faster? And Egon's like, they don't make Nikes in her size, Ray. And then he's just sitting there just doing the Advantage.
So good.
Useless knowledge. Anywho, why is this not saving? There we go. Everything's saved. Everything's good. All right. We're all catching up. I think I forgot to look over at the chat there, but I see Heather's in there. Trevor's here.
Trevor's in there.
Of course, Trevor shows up. He doesn't show up for us, but he shows up because Kira is here. And that makes all
sense. We should be seeing Rob any minute now then.
Yeah, that's true. Trevor saying about the app. It's your car radio in the palm of your hand now, even with a radio dial.
I love the fact that Trevor has the raccoon picture that I drew for you guys back when you guys were doing the show with it before I joined. Like I did that one. Bring him back up.
Wait. I just closed out of it. Shit. Sorry. Hold on. I gotta find.
Here, look.
Trevor there. There we go. Oh.
What?
That's hell? Right. You did do.
I did do that one. I was like, I do that one. I did that.
Why did we have Trevor as a raccoon?
I have no idea. This was back when he was still on the show, and like something came up, and this is when during COVID when we were all hanging out on Discord, and something came up, like we were calling him a trash panda or something. So you had me do that for you.
That sounds. About
I don't know, but that's funny that that's even there. That was nice.
Jordan drew that. Yes. Okay.
Hi, Trevor. That's awesome.
Fitting.
There we go. All right. So the app things is done. I'm trying to remember what else we had to talk about. Oh, yeah. Daylight savings happened. Jordan's now back on a we're kind of.
Oh, yeah. You're in Arizona.
Schedule.
Yeah. I don't do a thing.
No, they just sit there and watch the world go by. And when the world accomplishes stuff, then Arizona
jump in on it as well.
Tries to provide their version. I do want to say we went a week without doing This Week in Disasters, and now it's back because a bunch of stuff happened since last week. I will say this is the first time in a long time that Arizona was not trying to compete for the world's attention by having disasters of their own.
Give it a week. We had high winds today. It's raining. It's storming here in Arizona. I guarantee you something bad happened. I just don't have it yet.
All right. Kira, you may or may not know, it's been an ongoing theme on this program that whenever something really important happens, more times than not, Arizona feels the need to have their version of whatever happened. And this has been going on since the presidential election. Mm-hmm. We've traced it back to the point where on election night, I forget which network, but somebody was talking to students on what was it, University of Scottsdale, Arizona,
ASU.
All right, they were online and they talked to a young man waiting to vote. And they said, so you're waiting to vote. Is this your first time voting? Yes, it is. Oh, who are you voting for? Donald Trump. Okay, well, why are you voting for Donald Trump? Because he was on Joe Rogan. All right. That's what sold this kid. Now, that news clip, that anchor talking to that kid, was not only just constantly played on, it might have been Fox. I don't remember what network had it.
I honestly don't think it was Fox. I think it was like CNN or
somebody
MSNBC.
Had it.
Like it
but
was not a
it got played
show.
on all the other networks too. Like MSNBC was running it. NBC Network, their Prime network was running. Like everybody was talking about the anchor talking to this kid, and did Joe Rogan play a big enough part in what was going on here with the election? So that made most of the news that night with all the state stuff. Then at the end of the night, we had the swing states coming in with their votes. And who was the last one?
Arizona.
The last one that we were waiting at least 2 to 3 days for them to confirm that, they've got their shit together. Arizona. Since then, there's been plane crashes. There's been fires and floods or whatever that happen in other areas of the country. All of a sudden, Arizona has to have their version of it too.
Sure. The plane crashes.
And then, the plane crashes, all of these things. And then after several weeks, Jordan goes, I hate to admit this, I think you're right. Arizona is just following what everybody else is doing so they could get attention. I'm like, yes, I've been telling you this to a lesser extent, or even like a poorer replication of what was going on.
We're like the Dollar Tree or the discount, the 99-cent store version of all the news, where we're just doing it like kind of half-assed, where like all these big planes falling out of the sky, so we have 2 little Cessnas hit,
right?
Or
Arizona is the pick-me of the United States, essentially.
Yeah. My favorite was when we were having when the chain reaction was going on since that plane hit the helicopter and crashed into the Potomac. Then we were starting to see a whole bunch of stories about other plane crashes and incidents and what have you. Arizona has to have one at Scottsdale Airport, and it was a plane that landed and just couldn't stop and slid into a parked plane.
Just started rolling.
And it was a plane owned by Motley Crue lead singer Vince Neil. And you watch the clip, and it's just pathetically sad.
It's sad.
That it was almost coming to a stop, and then just kind of went off the tarmac there and slid into a parked plane by a hangar. And we
my God.
And we're like, of course Arizona couldn't get this right. Not that I'm wishing for death and destruction, but if you're going to follow a pattern, at least do it the right way. And Arizona still even couldn't do that.
Nope.
Well, yeah, and also, what are the odds?
Look, last in education, number one in your hearts.
Apparently.
Yeah. So, to get back to the main point, we have disasters coming up in a little bit. Arizona is not part of it this week.
Give it time.
But we have some humorous disasters that are
aren't they all?
Yeah, aren't they all? I also want to bring up, this is an anniversary of a very peculiar time in human history. This is the 5th year anniversary of the pandemic starting. This week. This is the time that it happened here. And I think in the United States next, let's say, as we're doing this, it's the 13th. So I think it's the 20th was the official day when everything stopped.
Shut down.
Right? Everything stopped down. So this was the week where the ball got rolling that I think Trump had to come up on the air and say that we are declaring this a national pandemic, and then the world started following suit. Different places in Europe and everything were starting to close things down. I think around this time, Trump said that they were shutting down air travel into the United States from Europe, and then Asia got shut down. Like, we just became an island to the rest of the world. And I remember being on, I was doing Anthony's show at the time. And that afternoon, in that 2-hour span of him doing that show, I'm reading off things as they're happening. And he's like, you have to be making this up. This is not happening. I go, nope, the NHL just canceled their entire season. No. I'm like, yeah, it is. And then all of a sudden, like Major League Baseball was delaying spring training that was going on for, I think they said for like a month. They didn't think it was going to last that long, but they pushed off spring training. Then Live Nation announced that they canceled all their tours worldwide. Yep. And this is in the span of 2 hours. I'm just like, oh, I have another update for you. And he's like, what happened now? And I'm like, well, this shut down. MLB's doing this. Late night's closing down. They're canceling all the talk shows. They're not doing what? What's going on? Yeah, apparently now you have to work from home starting on this date. And I mean, if Trevor's in here, he can tell you at iHeart, when they had to do it, they had these black cases lined up. That were almost like if you came off of a cruise ship or something, they had your luggage lined up where you could claim your luggage as you get off the boat. And they were just cases of like Roadsters, the podcasting boards and microphones for all the the hosts had to take them home and learn how to connect. It had like a printout of how to connect to the network with iHeart so that everyone could start doing their radio shows at home. And they were sitting there doing it through their laptops. Howard Stern was one of the most infamous ones that I remember when they all had to start doing their shows at home. $1 billion enterprise, Howard alone. And they're all sitting there talking into laptops, not even with microphones. They're using the speaker on their notebooks to broadcast for 3 days. And he made Sirius send engineers out to his house in the Hamptons to build a studio. I was, sorry for the blunt language, flabbergasted by this fact. Because you'd think he'd have a whole like $1 million operational studio at his place. He had nothing. So they had to build it within the next week so he could do his show from his house in West Palm Beach, and then in the Hamptons. Then he got in trouble because he set up a studio in West Palm Beach, and that's illegal down there to broadcast from your from a residence. You can't do a business inside a residence down there.
That's interesting.
It's a law. Here's a quick side note. It was a law that was passed because of Rush Limbaugh in the late 90s. Rush moved out of New York City. He had a mansion down in West Palm and was doing most of his show from West Palm Beach, and he was like the biggest name in syndication. He was like 500 something stations, so whether you like him or not is irrelevant. He was a big entity for radio. Yeah, he was doing it from his house in West Palm Beach, and then the city found out and they had to pass an ordinance that you are not allowed to operate any kind of business within a residential area. So he had to go and buy like a strip mall or something, some office space, and have a studio built so he could just leave his house, go a few blocks, do his show, and then go back home. Well, Howard was doing a show down there, and I guess he got some reporter figured out that he was down there, and all of a sudden he wasn't doing his shows from West Palm Beach anymore. He was back in the Hamptons doing it. Anyway, just a little side note for you.
Well, yeah, the whole thing is wild,
But anyway, so everybody was trying to figure out how to broadcast, to do television, how to do radio from home. I mean, you saw Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers doing their talk shows from their homes, their backyards. Yeah. Like, it was a wild fucking time for media. And then, I mean, even crazier for people who were working regular jobs. Like, you had to be considered important to even get into the city. You had to have a permit. And I think Trevor got one of those things. You had to be I think it's an essential employee or
essential worker.
Yeah, essential worker.
In order to get through the tunnels. Like, they were monitoring the tunnels, the bridges, everything to get into Manhattan if you wanted to work. So, I'm like, I'm not that essential. I was just going to work from home. I already had the studio built, so did everything from there.
You're smart.
What did you worked from home, Jordan, right?
Yeah, I was actually working from home before any of this happened. So like my life, other than, like job wise, my life didn't change, which kind of sucks because everyone was always complaining about their free time and not, having a job. And it's like, I never had that experience. Like I was working the entire time. What sucked for me is that a week before, so they announced the flight bans and said, you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything. I had a trip to Germany the next week. So I had an Airbnb set up. I had my flight ready to go. I was, I had all my stuff planned. and they canceled travel. Now I held out until like the last possible moment, but they didn't let that up. And the reason I was going out there is at the time my daughter lived out there. So I had every year I was going to go out to Germany and spend her spring break out there, so she didn't have to fly to Arizona and be tired and lethargic. So I can, go out and do that. And had to cancel that trip. And that turned into a year and a half of not being able to see her physically because they just didn't allow travel. So they weren't allowing travel and stuff like that. And it was like a really long year. The good thing that came from that, though, is that's when all of us, to pass the time because we were bored, started getting on Discord. And that's how we all met and started doing all this crazy stuff. So, I mean, we've had this conversation before many, many times where there are parts of the pandemic that we miss. Not having to go to family events, not having to deal with people outside of our houses. And I part of it is I do miss just staying up till late playing stupid games with Giddles and Trevor and Heather and everybody, and just hanging out on Discord at all hours of the nights because we had nothing better to do.
No, every night we were playing Sea of Thieves.
That was fun, yeah.
That was the big game at the time. And that was when you could get up and go to bed. I'm still living that life, but you could get up and go to bed anytime
you still do that.
Anytime you want. It didn't matter. Your work schedule was not your regular 9 to 5 anymore, unless you had one of those things where you had to log in and they monitored the time on your computer. But most places were like, if you can get the thing done in a reasonable amount of time, that was good enough. That's all they cared about.
It's wild though, because when I was let go, I was working part-time radio at the time and got let go. And maybe 5 months later, I started working in the food industry while everything was still locked down and everybody was doing like the curbside thing while you wear a mask.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like the psycho meter went and like skyrocketed. I had like my craziest stories are from my short time there until I got into full-time radio. Whoever works in retail and food, my hat goes off to you because it is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I remember to get extra money, I did the DoorDash bit where I would go deliver food because it was the best time to do it because nobody wanted to interact with you. You would literally drive over, pick up someone's food, go throw it on their doorstep, and then walk away. You had no interaction, and it was the easiest money I ever made. I just got to sit there and listen to podcasts, listen to radio, and go around driving all over, making a bunch of money. And then it was just so nice. But yeah, I hated I hated that, they had to, they started putting those arrows on the ground and in grocery stores. And it's like we were just being herded down aisles like cattle.
Yeah, to wait on the line like there was some kind of, new sneaker or midnight Xbox release to get into a supermarket.
No, it was just toilet paper.
Yeah.
Nobody knew. Oh, the toilet paper thing is wild. But nobody knew what it was. Nobody knew what would happen. And, so until we realize what happens.
It's funny because I never caught it until I think the second, like I didn't get it. Like it all started, 2020? I didn't, I think, get that until 2022, 2023.
Same.
Like I caught version 7.0 or something, whatever they're calling them.
Oh my God.
And it's just like, I never got the loss of smell, never got the loss of taste. I just felt like garbage for like a week. Eric had a completely different experience when he had it. And it's I just never had that.
How many times did you guys have it?
I got it once.
I only had it once.
And I only got cleared to rejoin my family and everything.
Society.
On Christmas Eve.
I couldn't wait a couple days.
Yeah, well, because of everything that was going on, I had to live. I was living, for those couple of weeks, pretty much by myself. I was isolated from everybody, and
I remember that. Yeah.
It was the OG. You gotta be careful what you're saying here because YouTube.
I know.
The vid
version 1.1.
Yeah, version 1 of the vid, and it was the one where everybody was losing their sense of smell and taste, and apparently were running fevers and getting the thing where it was affecting your breathing and your lungs and all that shit. And all I got was I lost the sense of smell and taste. And I don't remember if I don't think I had a fever during that time, but I had no breathing problems, I had nothing. I just couldn't taste shit. So every day when I woke up, I took a big tablespoon of, as I call it, 100% pure horseradish, and I would eat the tablespoon of it. And I know I'm eating it, and I could feel like the vinegar vapors in the back, but I wasn't tasting anything. So I did that every day for almost 2 weeks. And then I think the day before Christmas Eve, I took it. I'm like, oh my God, I can taste it. So you got to call the doctor, and I couldn't get a test or whatever till they squeezed me in on Christmas Eve morning. I went.
This is before they had home tests, so you had to go to a doctor.
That was the home test. Is the horseradish?
It was
the horseradish test.
Yeah,
dude, I was doing everything.
The vinegar vapors, as he calls it.
Throughout the day, I did the horseradish. I was doing hot sauce. I had Yankee candles going, so I would put my face into the candle to feel the heat, but see if I could smell, the black cherry or the watermelon, whatever candle that I had, and nothing. And then that one day,
that you were having issues with dairy for the longest time.
That was a side effect after that. That went on for several months. I couldn't have.
What?
So it wasn't like dairy was affecting me internally, like some people who are lactose intolerant or something like that. I had no problems with that, but I couldn't eat it physically because I would go and taste it and everything tasted spoiled. Sour cream, yogurt, milk, any kind of dairy product. If it was in my mouth, it tasted rancid and I couldn't eat anything.
That's not the only time I've heard that though. Not just with dairy, but other foods too, and certain smells. It completely changed the wiring in their smell and taste with certain foods. So that's not the only one.
Right.
Thankfully,
I'm glad none of that ever happened to me.
Yeah, same. Never happened with me. Although I did get it 4 times in the last 3 years.
No,
it is. Listen, it's not something I want to be an expert in. Okay, Jordan.
I was gonna say, does it feel different every time, or was it just the same crappy feeling all 4 times?
I mean, I definitely felt shitty every time. It was just for different amounts of time. So, sometimes I wouldn't feel shitty in the beginning, but it would be a lot at the end or whatever, different each time. But I felt crappy every time.
I got it at the same time as my youngest, and he, I think, was 6 at the time, and he felt crappy one night. The next day he's running around the house, and I thought a truck hit me, and I was down for 3 or 4 days. And the only person in my family, I think, that didn't get it is my daughter. And I don't know how. I don't know what weird immunity she had, but she, to this day, has never once stopped yet.
Oh my God. Good for
lucky
her.
you, jerk.
Yeah.
I got it one more time. And this was after they were sending you like home tests.
Yeah,
right?
they were like, please take off stuff.
And I got it one more, like I tested positive, but I had no symptoms, like nothing. And because it still was, you know, I think we were already either part 1 or part 2 of the first round of the shots they were giving out to people.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel perfectly fine. This thing just has a strip on there saying that I have it, but you know, I waited 2 days and tested again, and it wasn't there.
It was a pregnancy test.
But then they're still saying, well, you should stay home for the next few days. It's like, yeah, I'm working from home. I'm not going anywhere. So this didn't mean anything.
Well, yeah, asymptomatic but still contagious type of thing. I get it.
I guess. I don't know.
It just means that Eric went to bed at 4 a.m. instead of 5 a.m.
Oh, yeah. And now you're at like 7 a.m. So look at you.
No, actually the last 2 weeks.
He's reverted back to being an adult again.
I know, and I've been hating it. My body forced me to go back. I'm anywhere between 8 and 10. Like tonight it'll be a rarity, but between 8 and 10 I've been going back to sleep. And I'm waking up anywhere between 5 and 8 in the morning, and I'm just miserable with it.
No way! Look at you being a normal human being.
I know, I hate it. It sucks. It sucks. But
yeah, he's got to work on my time. Now he's 3 hours ahead. You have to stay on my schedule. I can't have these conversations.
I was debating all
times.
week. I might start a morning stream, and I'm just going to be. I think I'll just call it dicking around. And it's just going to be, I'm going to play Phasmo or whatever else I'm playing, or I've been doing a lot more of my digitizing of my archives and stuff. So I might bring back It's Edit Nagel, that series. I was doing that for a while, where I was showing people how to digitize stuff and archive things, cut up audio, video, reprocess stuff, produce it, all of that. So I might bring that back in the mornings because what else am I going to do? You know,
it'll help you wake up too.
The what?
It'll help you wake up too.
I mean, it's not even a matter. Again, I sit up like the Undertaker. You know, like I'll be sitting there and all of a sudden my eyes just open and I sit straight up and I look around and I'm like, oh, that means he's going to go in for the tombstone in a moment. But I just sat up right there and I'm like, all right, I'm awake. I go and I get an iced tea and then I try to figure out what to do with myself in the morning. I'm watching the Today Show. And
you're a zombie already in the apocalypse. Got it.
Yeah.
That is weird.
I know.
Yeah,
I did mornings for like 20 something years on and off for different, portions of my career. And my body revolted. Once that was done, they're like, we're never doing mornings again. It's not happening. And now I'm being told otherwise. So.
Well, welcome back to the human civilization.
I know. There's nothing to do. Oh, Tom.
It's the worst.
The morning is on morning zoo time. I might bring that back. Nobody's doing it. I might as well. People talking about the time they had the vid. Heather's in the chat saying, when I caught it, I was pissed because I felt fine and I was sitting at home and not bartending. Trevor said the first time I had it was a sinus infection feeling. The second time I wanted to die. I remember Trevor telling me how miserable he was on that stuff. And a lot of other people got it either really bad or not at all. I got
it bad. I think Gittles got it too, right? Like he had it once.
He did, but I don't know how bad he had it. I know. Yeah. Well, he had it a couple of times. Yeah. Because he kept going out and about in Brooklyn. And even though like he was fully, caffeinated I'm using code words because YouTube is
wink
nonsense with this, right? He was fully caffeinated walking around and he kept getting it. And it's like, that's not how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to be okay for a while. And it was what it was. That's when he was making pizzas out of his apartment.
Yeah.
He was making all those cool Detroit
from scratch?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was using like top tier ingredients. He was selling like Detroit style, all different kind of creative.
Yeah, he was like an illegal pizza broker out of an apartment in like
illegal. He was operating like they all were cash business. Oh
my god, I'd buy.
Yeah,
sure.
He had orders all the time. He was just constantly selling pizzas. But good on him.
Yeah, we'd be playing Jackbox. He's like, hold on, I got to go check the oven. I'm cooking pizzas for tomorrow. I'm like, oh my god.
Tom saying he caught it once. He had no symptoms, but his job already isolates him because he's a truck driver. So he could be sick all you want while you're in the cab and. Hopefully not hitting.
That's what I like in my truck drivers, the inability to focus on the road.
Yeah.
Heather saying Gittles had it early while we were all still locked down. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he had it somewhere in the holiday time like I did.
Yeah, I had it after lockdown lifted. So like, of course, like lockdown, I always compare lockdown as that I was the healthiest I've ever been. I never got the flu. I never got sick because I always had masks on. I never went anywhere. I didn't have interaction with family. The schools weren't really doing anything, all that. And I'm just like, this is the healthiest I've ever felt. And then the second it got locked down, I got the flu. I constantly get stuff from my kids because they're incubators, because they go to public schools. And it's just like, I kind of want it back.
I remember
the only thing.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Sorry. The only thing was that my hands were the driest they've also ever been.
Constantly putting on the alcohol and the
alcohol and the hands. Yeah. And the washing your hands for 30 seconds.
They were doing gloves around here and in New York. Like some places made you had to have these rubber gloves on. Like if you couldn't have that, what was it? N95 mask?
It was like an N95 mask.
Yeah.
But those were the ones that like, either medical people or people that deal with like asbestos and construction. Those were the masks they used. Now everybody else is looking to buy these industrial masks. You had to have some sort of high-end mask and you had to have gloves on. And I remember one time in the supermarket, I'm sitting there with the stupid mask on and then I got these pink gloves on and I'm just like, I said, enough. I don't care. If I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it. I stopped using the gloves and you just follow the line in the supermarket and then be done. I kept the mask on because whatever it was. Second you hit the parking lot, it was off. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
I always love like when you go into Target, like their little machine where you put your card in, you put your code in, had this weird plastic on it that was supposed to be, antimicrobial, antibacterial, or whatever it was. But the thing still looked dirtier than most everything because it was holding on to all the dirt from people's fingers. I'm like, there's got to be. We're still
You have
getting
to
sick.
wash
What do
that.
you? There's this fake. This can't be a thing.
No.
Like some of
They're
these are
saying
dumb.
everyone was wearing gloves. It was the most worthless thing ever. You're still touching everything with the first fucking gloves. Do you remember when they were telling you on the news to wipe down your mail and your groceries and stuff?
Oh, I did all of that.
Every time
did
I
all
had
of that.
spray for everything. Ugh.
Stripped at the door,
No.
like it was changing clothes at the door to make sure nothing from the outside got in.
Right.
Yep.
No, wasn't doing that. It was enough
God,
that
the world
I
sucked.
did it in the stores, and when I got home, I'm like, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. It'll sit. In
I
the
was
pantry.
I was
It'll be-
hoarding like flour. Like you couldn't get anything, so I found a 5-pound bag of flour, and I would divvy it up in 1-pound bags, and I would just keep, or like 20-pound bag, and then just hand it like to my grandma had some. Like we were trading in goods. It was a weird time.
I came home, and I remember it was a Tuesday, so I think it was that week leading up to before the final shutdown.
Right.
People were just starting to like the news was telling you, government officials were telling you about hand sanitizers and masks and gloves and stuff, and to get your stuff now because eventually these things are going to become scarce. The product line, the supply line wasn't going to be there. It's going to take a while for the product line to get everything to everybody, so get it while you can. Now, we all knew that, and I went to Home Depot to get the black gloves that they have for
like the
changing,
nitrile gloves.
Yeah, for changing oil and those kind of things. And then they had those pink gloves that had the powder in it that like medical people would use. So I bought a couple boxes. I think I even still have. They're probably sitting in the garage because I didn't really ever use them, but I had them. I remember that night I come home from the city, I sit down, I'm making something to eat, and I'm watching the news and some officials talking about all this. He's like, and look, go out there, get hand sanitizer. These things are going to become scarce. And then he says, and toilet paper, right? And I went, that's new, because nobody was saying it up until I heard it that night.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody had mentioned the whole thing. And I went, why toilet paper? And I went, oh, God damn it. So I got my keys. I just got home. I got my keys, went to Target, got, a couple things of toilet paper and the wipes and all that stuff. And the Clorox wipes too, because you didn't know. The next day, and I'm glad I went that Tuesday night, because the next day I was seeing on local Facebook pages and stuff, they had the signs of limits of what you could buy at the stores now. You're allowed two things of toilet paper, 2 things of the Clorox wipes, or the generic like Target wipes, or whatever the supermarket brands are and everything. And then like a week later, everything was people fist fighting and cars flipped over, fires. And
there were Facebook groups dedicated to learning where like produce was going to be, like meats were going to be, and toilet paper was going to be. So like
Right.
you'd be like, oh, this store is supposed to get a shipment at 4 a.m. So people would be lined up at 4 a.m. to get their first run at, a 4-pack, and they were limiting them, and they were like stacking them in certain spots. They never made it to the shelves. They were just sitting on pallets.
I did that for the first couple of months, So
did I.
So it started in March. So yeah, up until about we were getting close to the summertime, I would get up in the morning and go line up for when the supermarket. They also used to do like an elderly hour.
Yep.
For Target, for supermarkets, for I don't know if Walmart did it too, but you like from this time to this time, only if you were over a certain age were you allowed to go in and shop.
Yeah.
Then
Well, they
after,
were
That's what
high
Eric
risk.
did. Eric did the Seinfeld bit, so he would wait and grab one and go, "Give me the toilet paper, you old bag," and then just run off.
yeah, that's exactly
Great.
what it was. Or you make deals in the parking lot.
Yep.
You know,
You trade.
people were out there. It's like, did you get that? Yeah, it's like I didn't have to do this, but I saw a trade go down, and I felt really bad, but not bad enough to give up one of the things that I bought. But I remember it was a lady talking to somebody else in the parking lot that, she needed something for her kids, and that guy had a couple, and they made a deal. Like she paid the guy for it and whatever.
Jeez.
And I remember hearing that. I'm like, oh man, yeah, I don't feel that bad to give him anything. But that's good that guy did. And then I got
Good
it
on
and
ya,
left.
Eric.
Yeah,
With the toilet paper thing where you heard it and then you went and got it before it went crazy. I did the same thing with a bidet. like a little hookup to your toilet so you can get a bidet. And then
What?
literally days later, people were making them sell out on Amazon, because at that point, if you're not getting toilet paper, you might as well just, get, what everyone else in the free world is doing.
I should have gotten a bidet.
Fantastic.
It wasn't a bidet. It was one of those
bidet
wacky.
It was a
bidet
weasel-
and a half.
It was one of those wacky weasel lawn sprinklers. He just put it in the toilet and let it do its thing.
Some of those are
Listen.
weird, where it looks like just like one of those like faucet things on your sink, but it's like hooked up to the plumbing of the thing, and it's got a little handle, and you just go, yeah, no. Mine is like full on, like turn a knob, you can switch it. I love it, and I hate to put it out there, I still use it, and it's fantastic.
Right.
I want one.
They're cheap, they're like 20
want
bucks.
one.
But at the time, they were selling out. Like toilet paper was the precursor, and then people caught on to the bidet bit, and then those were hard to find too. You couldn't get those on Amazon and stores.
You don't need I mean, I get if you have it in your place, that's fine. Just to stop using toilet paper. Just use wipes.
It's one or the other. But I think that the bidet is the way to go, because you don't always know if you're missing something unless you take a shower, which is what the bidet's there for. So you don't have to take a shower to clean yourself. Listen.
Yeah, it's like a little shower. Eric.
Dirty French people.
Just for your butt.
Oh,
I know.
It's fantastic.
Shit, I had a French clip I was going to bring to the show. I didn't pull it. We'll do it next week. The elderly hour product stuff there. Yeah, it got to the point where I was up all night. I started to figure out when Walmart and Amazon would restock things on their app, and it was like somewhere between 2 to 3:30 in the morning.
It was late, yeah,
on East Coast time for me, and I started to buy packages of Clorox wipes, of this, of that, whatever. And when I had enough and I knew other people needed it, I was buying it for other family members. Because they would show up there. It's like if you just kept refreshing certain times, all of a sudden, boop, there it is on the Walmart app. Buy it, send it to, well, down in Florida, it wasn't too bad. Most of my family was down there, and they don't give a fuck down there. So it was, hey, if you want to wear the thing, wear it. If not, you go ahead. It's Margaritaville 24/7 down there. They're out there boating and drinking and not giving a shit. But for any family I had up here, I was just buying stuff and sending. I think I sent stuff to Giddles.
You may have, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Trevor too. I don't remember. I was buying stuff for everybody just because I was up watching television, and I would just constantly going through the apps. I'm like, oh, they might need this. They might need that. I was just sending shit to everybody. I think I sent stuff to Zia at some point. Yeah, it was just something to do. I had nothing else to do. Because it was either that or talking to somebody that we don't talk to anymore who kept trying to get us into crypto.
Yes, I remember that.
Remember when he convinced us to start buying like Bitcoin and things like that?
And I still don't understand it.
I still have it all in those wallets.
I've never
touched it. It's just sitting there. So
I remember. Yeah, we had a lot of fun conversations late in the middle of the night playing Jackbox and just
because
being all
everyone
kind of
was on the
tomfoolery.
same schedule. It did not matter when you went to bed. It did not matter when you woke up. Everybody started playing Animal Crossing, which was dumb, and I would not play that.
That's true.
Never jumped on that bandwagon.
No,
Thank God.
Was not dealing with that. But everyone else was also playing Jackbox, which I kind of got in because sometimes that was fun.
That was fun. Giddles would do movie nights every Friday. We'd just watch bad movies and then just talk all night long. Like it was, again, there are things about that time that I actually miss.
I miss people staying at home all the time, and not even me staying at home. Other people, so that the highway was free and clear, and
the roads
local
were
traffic
clear.
was free and clear, so I could get to wherever I wanted in 5 and 10 minutes.
I can't even imagine what New York City was like during that time, because I was in Vegas.
I didn't go. I stayed away from Manhattan until July
Smart.
of 2020, when I was running Anthony's business at the time, and he's like, I think we need to start going back in there again. And okay, well, and I remember the first time getting into the city, I get out of Penn Station, and it felt weird. And it felt like not just I hadn't been there in forever, but it was like it was a negative energy. And I'm not one of those energy people and vibes and all that nonsense.
You don't do crystals and sell them and all that stuff?
But I walk out into the street, and I'm just like, it feels off. Like everything
just
felt
eerie.
Yeah, it felt really weird being back in the city again.
That's what I felt like with Vegas, because like usually, of course, when you think of the Strip, you think of the lights and busy and people everywhere and nobody on the sidewalk. And during the pandemic, especially in the beginning, there was nobody. The doors and windows were boarded up. There were security guards with masks on out front. Ducks were crossing the street because there were no streets or no cars on the street. It was absolutely eerie. So I can't even imagine.
Erie, Pennsylvania. Erie, no, what was the Nickelodeon?
Erie, Indiana.
Indiana. Damn it. That was close.
Mm.
That's before her time.
Oh, yeah, that's
It
fine.
was a classic Nickelodeon.
She's
was
like,
it part of? Was it part
she's
of?
like,
that?
I got fired during the vid. I'm sitting there going, weren't you 10?
No.
She was all about the Kim Possible back then. She wasn't really on the Nickelodeon.
Got it.
Of Erie, Indiana, and Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh, Are You Afraid
Adventures
of
of
the Dark?
Pete
I
and
know.
Pete.
Pete
Those
and
were all
Pete,
around
I
that
know.
time.
Mm-hmm.
I know more than you think I do, but it's fine.
Wait a minute. What was not Nickelodeon? Are You Afraid of the Erie, Indiana was not Nickelodeon?
Was that? I thought it was Nickelodeon. Maybe it was Disney? I don't think it was Disney. Well, now I have to look at this stupid computer of mine and have to look
Damn
it up.
Heather. Trevor, who's got a morning show to do, which I'm amazed he's still awake.
He said goodnight, but then he's just enthralled by us.
He said, New York was awesome. It was empty and full of nothing but riots for Black Lives Matter. So just chaos and emptiness. That is true. I forgot about that. Oh, also in New York, for a while, it was getting overrun by biker gangs. They had
like Schwinn's or real bikes.
It was all like black and Latino kids riding like Kawasaki's, you know, those motorized
crotch rockets.
Yeah, the motorized.
Like the scooters.
No, the dirt bikes. I forgot what the real term is for those things. But they're driving down like 7th Avenue and shitting next like outside of Macy's, and like it was just a fucking bizarre time. Everybody had boarded windows. There were random fires. Philadelphia, remember, Philly kept destroying itself because that's what it does. But Philadelphia was destroying itself for all of that shit near the Diamond District and all the posh stores. Whatever, was it Walnut Street? I guess that's down there. It's like our 5th Avenue in New York City.
Right.
Heather saying it was on NBC.
Yeah, I was looking it up. NBC from 1991 through 1993, and then it got syndicated on the Disney Channel. That's why I thought it was Disney, because I think that's where I caught it. I don't think I ever watched it when it was airing as it went. Interesting.
Noodles in the chat don't know the real term for dirt bikes. You mean dirt bikes? I'm like, yeah. No, but there was, it's like the Kawasaki ones and
yeah, dirt bikes.
No, I just realized the name I was thinking of, and you can't say that name anymore. So,
no, I think the one you're thinking of is referring to like Honda Civics and things like that. I think what you're thinking of is...
It's in the private chat there. I just sent it to you real quick. You remember that term?
Yeah, but that term is used for like Honda Civics and cars, like the Fast and Furious.
It was for their for the bikes too.
No, see the bikes are called crotch rockets.
I love how Noodles keeps calling them Dirk bikes. He's trying to correct me and still getting it wrong. It's perfectly fine. If we didn't have Pink Taco Club, Dirk bikes might have been a contender
a good one
for the episode. Anyway. So 5 years ago this week was the pandemic, and I call it a fixed point in time when pretty much we went onto an alternate timeline, and everything has gotten really, really, to coin a phrase, topsy-turvy.
Well, it's because it's weird because you have those like, post World War II era, and then you now had like the post 9/11 era, and now our lives are all pre-vid, post-vid.
Right.
And it's just like, oh, it's so weird. I'm tired of living through history. Just let me forget about a month or so.
Yeah. Jordan and I have been talking about the fact that we would like a year where nothing happens.
I don't remember what happened because it was so boring.
At some point, it would just go, it's like, I'm fucking bored. What's going on? It's only February.
Everybody's in a coma at the same time.
Yeah. Right. Nothing. It's just been every day there's been something. Some of it's been great. Some of it has not. Some is hilarious. Some is terrible. You can't ride every fucking spectrum of emotion every day. And that's apparently what we are doing since 2020. And I'm about ready to get off of this ride. Jane,
This is going nowhere fast.
Jane, stop this crazy thing
Called
love. Right.
Boom, 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 boom.
Let's move on to some other things. I have some new drops for you.
I do love drops.
I do have. So I have some new drops. Now, do we want to do the songs file or the diversity file?
Let's start with the songs.
Okay.
We got to separate the diversity from your very
Well, I got to remember we
very
gotta tread
controversial
lightly
private
'cause
chat message.
Kira has things coming up, and I don't want to ruin anything for her. So we're just going to keep things. What?
I did ask you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm very aware. I'm being responsible. I'm being a good friend.
Well, it's everybody changes at least once in their life.
So, we've created we unintentionally created a new genre of music. What did we call it? Where it starts off as one song but has a twist ending.
Oh, I don't think we ever really
did. We come up with a name for it or not? Okay. Well, it's its own little subgenre where it's a song that you know but turns into something else at the very end of it. The most famous one I know. I don't think Kira's the type that needs to do earmuffs, so I think she can handle it like a big girl. So the most famous one we have, and our most beloved one. Are you familiar with the group Hall & Oates? Okay.
Love Hall & Oates.
You know that song, "You Make My Dreams Come True"? Mm-hmm. You know how that song starts?
Mm-hmm. What are you gonna crush my dreams? What are you gonna?
No,
okay.
Not at all. But you know how the synthesizer is at the beginning of the song, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is one of it's probably Jordan's favorite.
It's my favorite.
Okay.
Because it's so quick.
Here we go.
You're a cunt.
So that's it. Right?
It's just my favorite.
So it's these little
because it's quick, it's to the point, and it just hits, and you're just like, oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Let's give it another listen.
You're a cunt.
Right? So you see where we're going with this, right?
I get it. I get it.
So then here's another one that we came across. Right?
See, that one's funny, but I just feel that there's so much front end to the punchline.
A lot of lead up.
There is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of lead up. Like that's why the other one
hits lead up because
better for me.
that song is 70 years old.
Oh God.
Right? That song was.
I guess it is, huh?
Yeah, it's a song called "At the Hop" by Danny and the Juniors, but it's a different version. Yeah, the 50s were 70 years ago.
It's creepy. Well, the 90s were 30 years ago, and I just want to kill myself every time I know about it. Think about that.
50s and 60s music is where I thrive. But
really? You're a 50s?
Yeah.
I grew up with
you
it
don't know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, my dad.
The newsletter?
I don't have the Kira newsletter. My dad
you should
listen to. My dad's music knowledge ended when John Lennon died. Like, I think when Lennon died, he stopped giving a shit or following anything. But 50s and 60s into the early 70s was his pocket. And I was stuck in the car constantly listening to doo-wop.
Oh my God, it's so good.
I mean, it is. I have an appreciation for it as I got older, but as a kid, it's water torture. You know, you don't want to sit there and listen and hear the bomb da bomb dang a dang dang ding a dong ding boom like that.
Oh my God, I was 6 years old and jiving. I was listening to Frankie Valli at 6 years old.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, there you
Watching
go.
Grease, doing all that, and then Frankie Valli was my favorite.
Right.
At like 6 years old, still is, but at like 6 years old, I was singing.
You mean the animatronic of Frankie Valli?
Well, he was not. This was decades.
Someone's back
ago
there
now,
pulling the skin on his face to make his mouth move.
Oh, you get in there. My childhood was getting into his car, hearing the doors lock, so I can't get out. He'd hit the thing to lock the windows, so you couldn't open the windows because he was a dick like that. And then he'd start the car, and you'd hear the whoosh as he hits the manual button on the dial thing there, and you start hearing that remember. I'm like, oh, stop!
Chain smoking and doo-wop for Eric when he was a young lad.
Or
no seatbelts, big seats.
the what was
Yeah,
the
just
other
bench
song?
seats where you're just
Red
sliding
carpeting
everywhere.
in the. Oh my god.
My dad had a van that had
Every
shag
door had a
carpeting.
light, like an ashtray built into it, but it was always sharp edges, so you'd be cutting yourself
The
constantly.
same ashtray that was at a bowling alley and an airplane.
Airplane
Yeah.
seats, yeah,
It was
exactly.
all the same thing.
Oh my god, that's so gross. I still don't understand it, but
He had some of those songs. You'd be in there, like some were rock songs. Like I'd like Bill Haley in the comments, or Buddy Holly, Chuck Berry, those kind of things. But then you'd get some of those songs where it's always slow and tragic about somebody they know dying. And I guess like the most famous one is Dead Man's Curve, where it's like, where can my baby be? The Lord took her. Yeah, because they fucking had an accident. She died horrifically in a car accident. And it's like, oh, this is a song about teenage sorrow and angst. Yeah, that I get, right? But there was another song that used to play. It's easy to look it up now, but it was a song about a guy screaming at the ocean because his girlfriend drowned. And he's singing about how the ocean's mocking him. And the line just goes, "I took your baby from you away." And it had like this fucking weird bass line. And he's just sitting there crying on the beach because his girlfriend died. It's like, why didn't you go in there and help her instead of sitting on the beach? Like, I couldn't help her. She drowned. What do I do? Well, she's floating away. At least get the carcass.
Get her.
Yeah, go get her and have a proper funeral for the family.
Oh my god.
Nope, the ocean took her. Forget it.
Yeah. So anyone who
Oh,
says,
she's
"Oh,
long
music
gone."
was so much better back in like our parents' or grandparents' day," you look at the context of what they're. It's always about teenage fucking and dying, and you're like,
Well, yes, but also too, you have to understand that a lot of people didn't know what the words were at the time because they were just going with what it sounded like.
Like, wow, this sounds like a fun bop. Let's develop a dance to it. And the guy's just screaming at the ocean because his girlfriend or wife is
I
dead.
just remembered the name of the song. It was called
What's it
"Endless
called?
Sleep." It's by Joey Reynolds, 1958.
Wow.
So check that out if you want to get depressed and angry at the same time, because it just sounds like, well, he just watched his girlfriend drown in the ocean and he did nothing but scream at the ocean. Like he went over and kicked the ocean. Like that's going to do it. That's going to hurt the ocean and give it a what's what.
Well,
That'll teach it.
Now you have screamo and all that angsty, loud, screaming music about puppies and rainbows and butterflies.
But at least I can't understand it, so that's fine. I mean, I just go, this song I don't want to listen to. This was perfectly produced and put out on 45s for radio play. Like it was a lot
gentlemen
of
in
fun.
nice suits in just doing a song.
He probably had to go around to radio stations with his guitar
sure.
and play this live on shows. With his number one hit about his girlfriend drowning, here's Joey Reynolds.
It would be worse if it was like if it was a true story, and it's just like, oh, that's my number one
Noodles
hit.
in the chat is like, well, the joke's on you. I'm already depressed and angry. It doesn't matter. Tom from Alberta, riding with my dad was great. Eagles, Fleetwood Mac, and what's the rodeo song?
The rodeo song?
The rodeo song.
My jungle love, rodeo. I think I want to.
I don't think it's that one.
I think if the artist
song?
is Gary Lee and
that
Showdown,
one?
trailer. There's a couple different rodeo songs. I'm gonna have. Yeah, he's gonna have to tell us. I don't know what song it is.
I'm guessing
is it
it's a
by?
country song.
Well, see, the problem is a lot of titles are coming out.
Or is it
with different
Garth
artists.
Brooks? Boots,
I don't know.
straps, cowboy hats, spurs, and a lot of gold.
Tom's
most country
an
artists.
enigma to me, where sometimes I think he's 40 or 45 like us, and sometimes I feel like he's
Canadian
70.
shit. Yeah, it's
It is.
probably
Yeah,
right.
it's probably
Go
a
ahead.
lot of Nickelback.
Nickelback and rodeos and wrestling. That's pretty much what you're getting out of Canada.
And I'm fine with that.
Mark Zappala in the chat saying, my dad would drive around to different gas stations chasing the oldies cassette volumes like they were Happy Meal toys. Yes. Especially, I mean, I'm sure Tom knows this, when you'd go to truck stops or gas stations and they would have like the oldies samplers and stuff, like it would be like a 2, 4, or 6 cassette volume thing that you would bring into your car. You'd open up and it'd be the plastic clamshell, like old Disney videos. Listening to that garbage. Anyway, so yes, back to the little micro genre that we had here. So yeah, Danny, you're a twat. Do you know Folgers coffee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the old Folgers? Their old jingle. Do you know the jingle to the
Best
Folgers?
part of waking up.
Okay.
Folgers in your cup.
So you'll get this one.
The best part of waking up is not giving a fuck.
There you go.
Yes.
That was a good one too.
I want that for everyday life.
All right.
Yeah, this thing's made like a ringtone.
Yeah.
So, so we're in that. Did we have another one? No. Okay.
I think we did the 3. Yeah.
Okay. So I have some more to add to this. Okay. Being children of the Nickelodeon era, I think you'll all enjoy this.
I'm sick of this bullshit.
I do that.
I like it.
I don't do that version, but I always do the
Nickelodeon. That was an old 80s one, too.
I used to also do the after these messages, we'll be right back. And then they have the different ones with like the cowboys playing or like the dogs trying to get to the fire hydrant.
And then the hydrant licks them. Yeah.
And they licks them back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember math, but man, I can
get
bring
back
a
on
jingle up from
terrestrial. I'm going to pull
1985.
those and use those for production going to and from breaks and stuff.
Right.
And then remember, it'd be like after these messages, we'll be right back. And then there was that big yellow blob with a cowboy hat telling you about a hanker for a hunk of cheese.
Hanker for a hunk of cheese. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
Hanker
that.
for a hunka. Skanker
A
for
hunka,
It's like he's
hunka.
just saying nonsense about a big cheese wheel.
Hunker, hanka for some cheese. And then you just be playing. I was like,
This is from
are they
back
really
in
trying
the-
to sell us on cheese?
I
Like, we
guess
know what
so.
cheese is.
It was back in
It's
the
like
day.
when I see.
Go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just like, it's like when I see toilet paper commercials. It's like, are we still trying to advertise for toilet paper? We know what toilet paper is. Like,
Yeah.
why do we have commercials?
It was back in the day when Saturday morning cartoons was actually a thing and it meant something.
Yeah.
Miss it.
Yeah.
I tell you, miss it. All my heart.
All right. So you have the sick of this bullshit. Now this, I don't think goes into, this is going to probably go into the consumer bank, but this isn't part of that genre, but this was a song that I pulled because I was singing it a couple weeks ago and I said, no, that's an actual song. So here it is.
HOTDOGS, hot dogs are the fucking best. HOTDOGS, hot dogs are the fucking best. HOTDOGS, hot dogs are the fucking best. HOTDOGS, hot dogs are the fucking best.
They certainly are.
They certainly are.
We need more
Well-
hot dog fast food chains.
I was going to say, because I
Do
told you
we?
about the hot dogs and I sent you that
none
picture
here.
from, I sent you the picture from Wiener Schnitzel with the hat.
Yeah.
And then you said the same thing. You're like, I don't have any like fast food hot dog
Don't
places.
have
Like,
them
that's
here.
a bummer.
You
I
don't
mean-
have Wiener Schnitzel?
No,
He doesn't.
I don't have that. I don't have, what is the other one? Portillo's?
Portillo's, yeah.
Portillo's.
Don't have those. No.
Portillo's is Midwestern though. Oh no, they have them in the
Well,
West Coast now, but not.
They made their way over this way. I have Portillo's, a couple of them close by. They used to only be one, and then like they started kind of expanding a little bit. So same with like Culver's, things like that.
Noodles in the chat. No, Eric, I don't think any of us adults know the name Folgers. She's much younger than all of us.
Right.
Not much, but yes, I
Much.
do know Folgers.
She just had her first beer last year.
I'm not 12. I'm not.
You're
12.
drinking at 12?
I'm
She's like,
with
what do you
it.
mean they advertise beer using talking frogs in a swamp?
Hmm.
What kind of craziness are you talking about?
Well,
Not a
I'll save
child.
the other drops for next week when she's not here. I'll
Oh.
say that.
For the
I'll be
female
watching
persuasion.
because I am. Yeah. I'm interested though. I will. be
They're a
watching.
little politically charged, so I'll leave those alone for next week. All right, moving on.
Now, does she know about our other drops that we have that we found some unintentional innuendos
you
in
wanna do
commercials?
that?
Those
All
are
right,
fun.
we can
Ooh.
do that.
I like those.
Ooh.
So we found I accidentally stumbled across an ad online, and it's a legit ad for a very well-known company. And there's something in the copy that I said, if isolated out of context, that's hilarious. So
Okay.
it's this one here. Uh-oh. I turned it off. My bad. Here we go.
Cream pie, trust me, you need this in your box.
Okay. So that was from a commercial called from a company called Overnight Oats.
Yeah, it was overnight oats.
Right. So-
Sure.
So they were talking about how they you order they have 25 flavors or something, and they're showing you how they put the boxes together for new orders. And
yeah, they did on TikTok. They would show okay, we're gonna pull Dave's order, and then they would go around pulling their flavors, and then that's so weird.
Noodle saying, "Why does Heather get her own drop?" Because she does. She bullies us. So, so yeah, she's putting the thing there, and one of the flavors is cream pie. It's a banana cream pie. So she said, banana cream pie. You're going to want this in your box. And I go, if you cut the banana off, this thing has a whole new lifespan. So
even with banana.
Yeah. So, so that started the ball rolling. Then there was, you've seen, if you watch cable news, it's always pharmaceutical commercials on there.
Yeah.
So you see the commercials for Ozempic. And now, since in the wake of Ozempic, there's all these other ones. There's, I know, Monjaro. And then
I think
there's the cheaper ones now for when you don't have a medical condition, but you just want to lose weight. Wegovy, I think.
Yeah, Wegovy.
Wegovy.
I've seen that one.
And there's there's others. Because every time I watch CNN or Fox, something, there's always new products. I'm like, that looks just like the other thing, but whatever. So there was a company called Roe. And they put out their own, it's a stick, a needle, whatever, shot for these things. For your GLP-1, which I guess is the I
think it's the active ingredient that is in most of these.
So here, this is for, so you know what I'm talking about, those little stick things.
Yep.
So this is for that.
I'm not quite sure how something that's just a little tiny prick can be so powerful in so many different ways.
Right. So okay, that seems to work.
Yeah.
Then we found a guy who was reviewing for the day that the pickle sandwiches at Jimmy John's became an internet sensation, where they were serving giant pickles instead of the bread, and then having their sandwiches inside these giant pickles. So he does a review, and it came out like this.
It's so hard, it's so huge, and you can't get your mouth around it. It's too much.
Right? So you see where we're going with this.
Oh, absolutely.
These are my favorite.
I thought I had another one here. There's one I'm forgetting?
I think we found a new one, but I can't remember what it was for. It's going to bum me out.
I must not have it in here.
Okay.
I'm checking the main folder. I don't see it. But yeah, so that's just a thing we do. We collect sound clips and use them out of context, and because we're children.
Even in context, it's kind of like when they make a children's movie and they add some innuendos and jokes in there just to keep the parents awake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, like in Wonderlust?
I'm gonna put my dick in.
Like that kind of clip?
I still haven't watched that movie.
It's a fun
fucking
time.
Paul Rudd.
Fun time for all. All right. We have a listener submission.
Dude, I saw that on the list. I'm like, I'm intrigued. Usually we don't care what they think.
So, yeah, that is true. But when they do send something, I do feel bad if we don't at least acknowledge it and play it, because we're thankful that they do.
Yes, that's what I meant.
There is a gentleman named Jake Hudson, and he is a fan of a lot of different shows that stream online. And in the last several weeks, I guess he found ours and has been active in the chat room and sending messages and what have you. And we appreciate that. And he supports the show. Now, which was odd because I don't really know the guy. And like maybe even a year ago, I would be in other chat rooms for other shows, and this guy was shitting on me. And I'm like, I don't even know this mongoloid. But he was whatever. And then out of nowhere, he sent me a thing saying he apologized and he wanted to make amends and what have you. So he sent a song while we were doing the show last week. And then the show was done, and I got a message saying, I sent you a song. Why didn't you play it on the show? I'm like, because we were doing the show. I didn't know you sent anything. So I said, I'll save it for next week. Okay. Next day, did you listen to the song I sent you? And I said, no, because I'm going to save it for next week. Okay. So now it's next week, and we have the song here.
Let's not play it. There's a big build-up, and let's do nothing with it.
So, with all that being said,
that'll teach you.
Not playing it right now.
He made
the first time.
He made this song. And
this is a home submission from himself.
The song was about 4 minutes long.
Wow.
And
oh my God.
That's why we didn't play it.
And well, I didn't know about it, but I said I can't play this. So I did my best to edit it down. So he made an AI song, a country song.
Okay.
About which I thought it was going to be about the show, and apparently it's not, because the song is about my IMDb page.
Oh no!
So he fed it in there, and it's just rattling off credits. But
and that's 4 minutes long. What have you done?
Your IMDb page is that long?
Some of it is not a lot, not that long, but
well, that's why it's a country song, because it's very depressing.
Yeah, there were some instrumental portions. There was fiddles being played. I'm like, oh, this has to go. But it's a little cringeworthy.
Okay,
but appreciative. I'm not shitting on the man. He put some time into this, so we should at least take a look.
Absolutely.
And feel free to comment as we go.
No.
In the world of radio waves, he makes his mark.
AI is creepy.
He rocks the name that ignites the spark. From a B in Anthony, he was part of the ride. Now it's Eric Nagel, where he brings the vibe. He's the voice that you can't forget. From morning drives to podcast, it's set with a quick wit and a charm that's bold. He rocks the story that needs to be told.
Why is this good?
Laughs and truth, yeah, he's got what you like. From the airwaves to the stage, he's never far. From GTA to TV, he's a rising star.
Why?
I'm not gonna lie, this is not terrible.
No, it's not terrible,
Okay.
but the content is.
Well, no. See, here's my first reaction. We did what was it? The 300, 500 episode? We did the 500 episode show not too long ago.
Okay.
And we had a song made about our show.
Oh,
it was literally all about me. I don't know what happened.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Remember, Eric played the song. He had it. It was made for us by a friend of the show.
And the
AI literally focused just
on you.
It was just about me.
That sounds
I'm like,
insane.
I mean, 500 shows. Sure, why not?
To be honest,
at least this is
that's
about
kinda
Eric.
Funny.
It's like when you're playing Phasmo and the Banshee is just going to stalk Jordan the entire time and not ignore everybody else that's playing.
But also, the name of the game is Eric Nagel.
Yeah, that's
right.
true.
And it was just literally about me and my accomplishments, and it was just it was hilarious. I'm like, are they going to talk about Eric at all?
Yeah.
Nope.
Well,
all me.
This was the
giving the people what they want.
Yeah. Here's more.
On Spotify, Apple, make a choice. Or just say, Alexa, play the show. He rocks the man you need to know.
It's not terrible, man.
I actually like it.
See, fiddles.
A lot of fiddle.
A lot of fiddling.
He rock.
Yeah, you can see where I made
I'm
the
a
edit.
fan.
Yeah. I'm going to need you to send me the 4-minute clip. I want to hear the whole thing.
All right, maybe.
It's pretty. I mean, it's not the worst thing I've heard. I've heard some of these AI songs
very
that come
well.
from
Whatever program people are using nowadays for this stuff, it's come a long way within the last year. Remember when about a year ago we started playing around with it and we made the coconut cream Dr. Pepper ska song?
Oh, it was so good.
I think I have that somewhere too.
Both the song and the coconut Dr. Pepper.
Yeah,
that sounds delicious.
It's
coming back this summer.
It's
by the
coming
way.
back.
Oh, I want to try it. I haven't tried it.
Let me see if I have
so
it.
good. It smells like suntan lotion. It tastes like heaven.
Yeah, it's good.
I've tried cherry cream soda. Cherry cream soda.
That sounds really good.
I think.
Oh wait,
like Big
It
Red.
is very good.
Because Big Red's a cherry cream soda.
I don't know about Big Red.
Is it the Pepsi wild cherry cream soda?
No.
Well, we got
It wasn't Pepsi.
I have all.
We're gonna do something this weekend.
We've got all this consumer stuff that we got to do. We have all those Harry Potter products.
I have so much Harry Potter products.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I've got Harry Potter butterbeer, Hershey's Kisses. We got popcorn. We've got.
Hang on.
What else have we got? Goldfish. We've got cookies.
What?
Keebler made the fudge stripes, but they're butterbeer flavored. We got those we need to do. I think we
jealous.
have some new Pepsis. We got the new Coke. We got the Dr. Peppers. I mean, we got so much snacks that we need to do.
Oh my god,
it's ridiculous.
I want to get all of it in a box.
We got these chips I've been holding on to since like January.
Golden sriracha.
I need to try them. I need to eat them. But yeah, we have just so much snacks that we need to actually do for consumers. We're gonna
do. Just show her the
good.
snacks.
I just showed the Doritos golden sriracha.
Golden.
I have those.
But he's listing it off,
hold on.
and I am so jealous. Oh my god!
Yeah, butterbeer kisses.
There's those. There's
the fudge stripes.
Right, and then you got.
Yeah, we got the golden Harry Potter.
And then there's the Harry Potter popcorn.
Yeah, I've got the Smart Pop or Skinny Pop. Excuse me, Skinny Pop butterbeers.
Butterbeer.
Yep. Yeah.
And where did you get the Skinny Pop?
Heaven.
Butterbeer.
I found mine. I found mine at my local Safeway grocery store, but I'm sure it's popping. I'm sure it's showing up at like Target or Walmart and stuff like that because it was a slow rollout. Some of them weren't hitting stores right away, and then I walk into my store and it's like literally just an end cap with everything that they sell.
I'm on board. You already got me at Harry Potter. Casey said Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero. That sounds apt. I love Blackberry.
Yeah, we got those.
Yeah.
I've got the Coca-Cola Orange Vanilla.
Orange Vanilla? That would taste like a orangeicle, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, I'm assuming so.
Like the old-fashioned.
We hope.
That would be good. But yeah, there's a lot. And
you got to send that package.
We're gonna eat it all and make ourselves
we can do the ramen show.
I know.
Wait,
well,
ramen?
actually, I just bought you some new.
We've got all kinds of really these ramen combinations.
Oh, here I'll show you.
No,
here,
don't have to show her everything.
You know what? I'm not gonna. Show
I want to see everything, Eric.
There's pumpkin spice ramen. There's everything bagel ramen.
S'mores breakfast.
There's.
I'm gonna be involved.
I've got all the hot ones versions.
Yep, I got those too.
I'm sure those.
The
will be
hot
gross.
ones are gonna be.
I'll have to film something separate for the consumer. I have the limited edition Ragu Hot Ones spaghetti sauces.
Ooh.
Oh,
I tried one of them. It's garbage. I'm not going to talk about that.
Make another little video like you did with the Thanksgiving pizzas,
which was fantastic. I wish they bring that. I hope they bring that back.
I would think the Ragu would be better than.
Well, you're already starting at -0 with Ragu.
Yeah,
and then
that's fair.
You're going up with whatever hot sauces they decide to add into it. So. We'll see. I haven't tried the hottest version, which I'm assuming is going to probably kill me.
Maybe.
All right.
But yes, we got a lot of snacks.
We got a lot of snacks,
good.
and we got a lot of disasters to get to, which we're going to do right now. Yes, This Week in Disasters is like the last several months of This Week in Disasters. It is just a smorgasbord of all kinds of hilarious to tragic events that they're just going on and you can't ignore.
And this one's all over the place. Usually we have themes where it's like all the trains are derailing and hitting people. We got plane crashes, but this is a nice little hodgepodge, if you will.
It is. The first one we're going to go to is a plane crash by your old stomping grounds of your old radio station in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
This was a smaller commuter plane that just wound up crashing into a parking lot.
What?
Look at that.
That's nuts. You can see the back end of the plane there.
Oh my god!
Resting on someone's vehicle
and
there. Oh.
Billowing black smoke coming from it. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Plane just crashed in the retirement home.
I think he said into a retirement home.
Oh.
Yeah. Insane.
Can you imagine being there? Oh my god. I mean, who is everybody okay?
I I should have the notes on that. I don't know. I would assume
Someone's
not.
Prius is not doing well. I'll tell you that much.
No,
It's something's honking.
I'll check it out.
Something's honking. So
that's probably just.
You can't park that here.
It's
move
the tremor.
plane over.
It's the tremor set off an alarm on for a car on the other side of the parking lot that doesn't have the no smoking and no plane parking signs.
No, what you see is some one of those like security guards on their little Segways giving tickets to all these cars that have been parked there longer than the meter says because the plane's been blocking them in. Sorry.
They're like, George, we don't know how much to give a plane that wasn't supposed to park here. What's the fine for that?
Well, we're just going to throw a boot on it, and if they don't collect it by tomorrow, we're just going to have it towed.
I really hope everybody's okay.
It's an
Side note.
Yeah, Tom is right. Lancaster wasn't in an Amish plane. Yeah, it's like right in the heart of Amish country.
Yeah, it was just. It was like
Wonder didn't have electricity.
It was just like the old Wright brothers plane. You know, it was just pulley systems and hoping for the best on a wind current.
Looks like the Da Vinci plane sketches, just all wood and
the big
sinew.
circle that looks like the soft serve cone coming out. Yep. Well,
the pilot is in critical condition, but looks like the family that was on board were all okay.
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 Good to know. But
good. Now we can laugh at it.
Yeah, fantastic.
Everybody's
disaster.
alive.
Fantastic disaster. Okay, let's move on here. So the next one we have happened out in one of those big wide areas, called the ocean, where a Portuguese registered container ship collided with an anchored fuel tanker. Crashed into the hull early on Monday morning, triggering multiple explosions and releasing jet fuel into the water. You hate to see that, but you do love to see a good multiple explosions. So look at that. That just took a bite out of crime right on the side of the ship.
It literally looks like somebody bit into it.
Yes, Cloverfield.
Stupid Godzilla.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, man.
And it's still floating. You're amazed that these things, they're built to last.
Well, their ballast system probably had to be redone so it could stay upright. Oh, that is crazy.
Oh.
Look at that. That looks like when you used to see that old war footage of those old-time torpedoes hitting the side of like battleships. So I don't know if those hose systems are putting out fires or just pumping the water that's coming in on one side of the ship to the other side of the ship.
I would think the latter, no?
Casey says, I love how you guys have been doing these disasters for weeks, and this is the first time anyone has said, I hope everyone is okay.
Yeah, we do forget to check on that.
I was looking at it and I was like, I have so many jokes in my head, but are they alive? Like, I don't...
Well, right. It's like, 50 people died. I'll laugh, but I'll feel bad about it.
It's like, oh, that's a shame. Moving on to the next thing.
So
but yeah, look at that. That there's apparently some footage. I was trying to get something without, logos all over the video, but they have night footage. I guess it was caught by another container ship or something that they were trying to lighten up, where you see the ships very slowly hit each other and then just explosions.
This is a quote from one of the crew members. It just came out of the blue. And I'm like, you're in the ocean. Everything's out of the blue.
Of course it's out of the blue. Literally.
I guess they arrested the captain of the cargo ship captain is arrested on suspicion of manslaughter over the collision with the U.S. flagged tanker.
Whoa.
So someone did get in trouble. I think someone did get killed. But they're not saying too much
Fell asleep
more.
or drunk? What do you think?
I don't know.
Maybe
I could reference the Exxon Valdez, but at this point that was 40 years ago.
Right.
I don't.
Well, remember the Costa Line cruise ship that flipped over because
oh, that's right.
The captain was kind of hammered and entertaining a lady, and not really. He was like buzzing the coastline and hit a barrier.
We're like, let's see how close we can get it.
And flip.
Ever see Speed 2?
Yeah, flip the cruise ship over on its side. And while they were evacuating, like Coast Guard, I forgot what area it was in, but Coast Guard showed up and they were trying to find where the captain was, and apparently he was out on the beach on the island with some of the other people. Like he was one of the first people off the ship. They went out there, hunted him down, found him, dragged him back to put him back on the ship.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they were told that everyone has to stay on board and deal with it.
That is a death sentence of maritime law. A captain has to be the last one to get off a ship.
Right.
And he was like one of the first. So that's like death sentence style. Like you rarely ever hear about that, but good to know that it's still in play for when shit like that goes down.
Do love maritime law.
We do. We're going out to my old area of Long Island, where I guess they were kind of jealous of all the West Coast action from the wild forest fires going on out there. That out of nowhere, this is not playing. Wait, there it is.
Out of
nowhere,
I just found
the
article too, so I know why it got set.
Right there, in between that and Sunrise Highway, this giant fire just blew up on Long Island. Crazy, taking out pine bearings and other local businesses and houses and stuff.
That's wild.
Right?
Now, do you know how this started?
I do.
I do too.
Well, it wasn't known until like 2 days later.
Yep.
They thought this was from, in the last week and a half, maybe 2 weeks here on this area of the East Coast, the Northeast, we were dealing with a lot of high winds. We kept getting daily alerts about potential fire risks because we were getting anywhere from 35 to 55 mile an hour wind gusts. And because of this area being in winter, it's very dry, very susceptible to fires. And this fire blew up, and everyone thought, well, we had the alerts, the wind. We thought this was going to happen. It was inevitable. Wasn't the case. It turns out somebody didn't know how to make s'mores while they were camping.
So stupid.
Or not even supposed to be camping. They were just out near the woods and making a fire pit to try to make s'mores, and fucked up the fire pit and wound up setting the whole forest on fire.
That's something, honestly, that I would do. Like, I would do something so idiotic where it's just like, yeah, she's just stupid.
First of all, this article had to explain what s'mores are, by the way. So there's like s'mores, a confection that includes toasted marshmallows and chocolate sandwiches between graham crackers.
Various wildlife toasted as well. Go ahead.
There's a quote that's saying, the individual making s'mores was unable to get the fire lit due to the winds, but they used cardboard to initially light the fire. The person subsequently discovers that fire does ignite in the backyard area and goes up into fire.
No kidding.
So, yeah, they lit everything on fire trying to make s'mores.
You learn something new every day.
Well, it's a delicious treat.
Apparently so. Mason K. Yeah, Italy. I think it might have been one of the areas of Italy where the Costa Line ship flipped over. Tom saying it's Greece. Well, you Mediterranean people can duke it out, as you always do. It's a tale as old as time in that area of the world, all fighting for supremacy. Big Red Tower. To be fair, s'mores are kind of yummy. Yeah, they are.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not a marshmallow fan, but I can see why people do enjoy them.
Yeah.
This fire is too small. Too small. Let's make s'more fire.
Oh my God, that's a show title too. Let's make s'more fire. That one's a good one too.
Let's make s'more fire.
Well done.
Damn it, Tom.
Oh, quick note to Tom.
Canadian humor.
I saw something in the chat. I meant to address it earlier. He went through a bunch of episodes for me to give me highlights and everything. It's like, and they didn't even use any of the drops. The whole point wasn't to use drops specifically for the 10th anniversary show. We were going to look to pull some clips, but then it evolved into everybody wanted to contribute video stuff. So that seemed to be more the angle that we went with people sending well wishes and what have you. So we went with that. Your notes did not go disappear in vain for what you did. I've been pulling those clips to make best ofs. I'm making compilations of my entire history of restaurant disaster stories. The stories with the movie theaters, stories with everything that seems to have a pattern. When I travel, my travel stories, I'm making super clips.
It's Eric Nagel This Week in Disasters. where it's just he can't go to movie theaters without something happening. He can't go out to eat without something happening. He can't travel without something happening.
No, and the best part about all of this is that when you hear the stories, you go, there's no way all this happens to one person. It's not possible. Well, people start showing up during certain times of these stories that witnessed it. Giddles can tell you flat out several times with the movie theater disasters of what was going on there. Zia can tell you a couple of things. Like, I don't know if Trevor can, but family members can attest to restaurant blow-ups and mishaps.
God.
Yeah.
Yep.
So your notes are still being used. It's just a matter of time as I'm going through everything to pull all of that. So Tom, please don't feel that your time was wasted. It was, but it does benefit the show, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh no, your time was a waste, but we benefit from it.
All right.
So thank you.
Moving on, tornado season for some reason is not just during the summer. It's all year long. And there was the southeastern portion of the country was just ripe with tornadoes. One area that you don't normally expect to see tornadoes, Orlando, Florida. This happened. The footage we're about to see is similar to something that, remember, Jordan, you told us that story of living, I believe, was it Kansas City?
I was living in Kansas, not Kansas City. I was in the south part of right outside, like about an hour outside of Joplin, Missouri.
Okay.
So I was living in Kansas
when a tornado hit, and it took out the broadcasting tower. Was it for the local television?
It just takes out everything.
No, but it was live as they were on.
Yeah, I believe so.
TV that it just took out their broadcasting tower for local television.
God.
This is a similar situation as we're watching the tornado hit live as the Fox affiliate in Orlando is reporting on the tornado, and it just shows up live on their camera.
Pull it out. Do you see that area where the rain, see that? That could be it, guys. Bring that camera up full. Okay, this is a live view from our TV station of what may be, at the very least, it's torrential rain crossing I-4 right now. We could be looking at a tornado on camera. Look at those trees.
For those who don't know, I-4 is the major highway that goes east to west in the center part of Florida. Like you have I-95 that goes down the east, and I think, 78 that goes down the west side. This goes left to right. So this is busy at all times of the day.
Blowing around.
Here we go. You see all the traffic down there as the tornado is just blanketing the entire highway.
Bring the camera up, guys, if you can. Zoom out. Can you zoom out? This is a look at the live camera of a tornado, which could be passing by our station.
I do love this part, too. It's a static camera. And
zoom out.
Zoom out, zoom out. It's like when somebody's like, oh, there's a photo of something, and then they're yelling enhance. And like, that's just in the movies. That's not a real life thing.
Yeah, you do it live.
Yeah, enhance. It doesn't work like that. Tom's correcting I-75. Thank you. I knew it was in the 70 vicinity. There we go.
Right now. Okay, there's debris. We've got debris on. Okay, take shelter. Everybody in the Fox 35 building, get to your safe space under your desk if you're not in a designated area. We're catching debris right now on the roof. Debris is on the roof right now. We're hearing, you can see the debris flying there on the camera. This is a tornado. Seek shelter immediately. Get under your desks, guys. Anchors under the desks. Everybody get on the desks.
He's turned into the fucking hall monitor for the television station. I think everybody there knows what to do. We don't need the teacher's aide coming in to
be fair, they don't normally get those there.
Right. Just like when you get in like an earthquake in an area that you're not used to. Growing up, living in California, you're taught earthquake safety, but no one else knows that, like on the East Coast.
Right.
So, I mean, if this is not where tornadoes usually happen, then yeah, I can get it. I think it's hilarious that he's like, we're seeing this form, and no one in their right mind is thinking, wait, this camera's located on our building that we're currently in. Maybe we shouldn't be here right now.
Yes, nobody prepared for it seconds before. They were just like, oh, this is we're watching it. That's nice. And then
he turns it on. It's like, oh, I think that's there. Oh, it's jumping across the highway. It's coming right at us. Okay.
Yeah. So funny story. I was in Florida.
Zoom out. I want to see the
when this
cone
happened.
shape. It doesn't work like that. Go ahead.
No, it doesn't work like that. But I watched this live when I was there and was like, thank God it wasn't in Orlando, but I was like, how does this, where is there a tornado that's going to be where I am? Like now all of a sudden Florida is the town, or is the state the town?
It's a very small town.
Duh. The state of tornadoes now?
Florida always had, we had places down in Florida since I was born. So every time we were down there, especially during the summers, you would get tornadoes down there, but there were always water spouts. Like they'd always would be right off the coast.
That makes more sense.
You didn't get them a lot on land unless a hurricane was in the area. Like if there was a hurricane in the Caribbean, it changes the weather pattern, so you would be more prone to getting them. Before, during, and after the hurricane just hit, but the hurricane had to be in play. You didn't really have the tornadoes. You would get the water spouts, but they were just weak tornadoes out in the ocean, and you're just seeing fish and, maybe a diver or something. No, I'm kidding. But that would be hilarious. You're just sitting on the beach and you just
goddamn Sharknado.
Yeah, a couple of Sharknadoes going by.
Okay, that was it. We're still in debris zone. Everybody get in. Everybody get in the studio. Come on in, guys.
I'm not gonna lie, this is very anticlimactic. Like I want to see a cow go across the screen.
I know. Yeah. And I'm tired of his team building exercise voice that he's doing here. It's like, come on, everybody.
All right, everybody, trust falls.
Come on, everybody.
It's like if you ever worked in retail and you're opening the store, the manager brings everybody in together for like a Whoa Bundy. Put your head in there. Come on, everybody. Team lead. Where's the team lead? Let's get it going here. Let's start clapping. Come on. It's like, I'm going to stab you with the box cutter. I just
1, 2, 3.
Open the doors and go away.
Power flickering out. That's a tornado. This is a confirmed tornado. National Weather Service, if you're listening, this is a confirmed tornado. Right?
National Weather Service, if you're listening.
Did you just assume the weather? No.
National Weather Service has satellite technology that's monitoring this. They don't need, the local Fox affiliate in Orlando to tell them, hey, it's a bit troublesome down here. You should take a look at it.
I'm sure they're well aware.
Well, and are they watching his newscast?
No.
Hey, Bob, I was
They're
just watching Fox 35
Weather
in Orlando.
Channel like the rest of the country is doing.
So stupid.
Big Red Tower. Main thing I don't like about tornadoes is that the roof flinging that they do.
Is that whole roof flinging thing.
Yeah. Tom from Alberta saying, get to your safe space sounds like a protest at a university. This is his time to shine. He gets maybe 20 seconds a broadcast to just give the quick weather updates. And usually Florida weather is...
still sunny, Bob.
It's nice till about 2 p.m. You're going to have a chance of afternoon showers, and then it'll be hot and humid for the rest of the night. Like, that's pretty much what Florida is. Here's now, like, he's taking charge. This is my time to lead, my time to shine.
He's got his safety vest because he was the building safety coordinator.
He's got his sash.
He's got a little sash on, his little hard hat.
Right. And
he was the hall
his whistle. He's got his safety whistle. Mm-hmm. And then he's going to
clipboard of things that he's got to do before they get out of the building.
At one point, you think he's going to go like to the station owner or the manager and stuff, like he deserves some sort of promotion. And behind their back, they're all laughing. He's like, remember the time he's like, National Weather Service, are you listening? It's definitely a tornado. It's like, they knew. The European models knew, and they're not even on this continent. And this guy's telling us like, hey, the Weather Service, there's a tornado happening. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Just,
Thank you for the clarification.
Go back on your little telestrator and draw what you think tornadoes look like in this area of Orlando here. Will it hit Disney World is all everyone cares about. They don't give a shit about your TV station.
Although Disney World is like a fort.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're fine. Weather doesn't.
Yeah, they are totally okay.
Yeah.
We're good.
Studios. This is heading into Lake Mary and Sanford right now. Get below.
Why does he sound like he's out of breath?
He's not even moving. Look, it cut back to him. He's standing right there.
Did he run and get under a desk? He's like,
no, there's no way. There's no way he did.
Tornado, guys.
He's hyperventilating because now he's like, It's on me. They threw the football to me. What do I do? All right, I got to lead. I got to make sure everybody's safe. I got to save the day.
He's like, you guys get under your desks. You guys get in here. Get in here.
With
he's
his cheap J.C. Penney's clip-on tie.
Level, an interior room away from the windows. This is a very serious situation.
He's panic winded.
Is it a very serious situation?
He's leaning on the console with both hands, so you know he means business. You should respect him more, Kira.
He's probably a very nice guy.
Live tornado.
Probably not.
It just hit our station. We saw debris flying. It's heading into Lake Mary, going right down Lake Mary Boulevard into Sanford. If you're watching from Winter Springs, if you're watching from Sanford, get below shelter. We're in a fortified room here.
Fortified.
Can we swing the camera right? Is the camera still working?
Enhanced.
We couldn't swing it right before this.
It's like this.
It's stationary, Bill.
There's nobody. It's nobody in the switcher room. Yeah, like the director's all gone. He's doing it on an app on his phone under his desk. He's like, this asshole keeps trying to get me to like zoom out and move. It's a static camera.
Okay, so we lost our Lake Mary cam. Okay.
Oh God.
Okay.
I've been doing this for a very long time. That's the first time a tornado has hit me while I'm doing the weather.
Did not hit you.
He made it all about himself.
Yeah,
yes, it was not you.
You don't know.
He didn't even get under a desk.
He will tell this story to family for the rest of his life. I was in a tornado once.
Family. Give it 20 minutes when everyone's back at their cubicles in their offices. He just walks around. Man, that tornado was something. He's going to go around trying to get accolades from
his
people.
Water cooler talk. He's got his tiny cup of water. He's winded.
Jim did an amazing job, narrating that tornado. Let us buy you lunch today, Jim.
He's going to bring this up in his annual review.
Yeah.
Like, remember when I navigated us through that tornado that one time?
To keep us on the air and keep you apprised of the situation.
Yeah, he's looking off to the side because I guess everybody else is like, tell him, get the fuck off the air. We got commercials to run. Stop doing nonsense. Well,
such a terrible weatherman.
So yeah,
it's hilarious though. It is good entertainment. It is good entertainment.
It's the first time a tornado ever hit me while I'm telling the news. It's like, oh, what about the 100 other people in your station there that are all? You're just telling them to get under the fucking consoles into their fortified studio. Get into the panic room, everybody. Stop playing in front of the green screen.
Yeah, get under your desk.
Yeah,
Stop talking.
A lot of people in front of the green screen going, whoa, like the tornado with the camera behind them. That's the shit. That's the cut they should have went to. Get off of fucking stiff neck here. Go over to the people who are going, oh, look, I'm in the tornado in front of the green screen with that camera behind them.
So funny.
That's what you want.
Again, so winded.
Now, I'll give you the other side of the coin while this tornado is happening. A lady is in her car, and the tornado comes right over her car while she's in there, so she had her phone on to record the whole thing.
Ay, Dios mío. Ay, Dios mío.
No, thank you.
A tree just went over her car.
Ay, Dios mío. Dios santo. Dios santo.
Yeah. See, this is a person that can go and say, remember when I was in that tornado? Not you, weatherman.
She needs the whistle.
Yeah, she needs the safety whistle.
Yeah, they wind up at the same place, like they're at a restaurant or a party.
In his footage, you could see her car flying across the
They
street.
don't know, right? And he's sitting there still reenacting, like hands on the table at this party. He's like, yeah, man. And then, while we were live, it started coming in through there. So I don't know what to do. So I'm trying to coordinate everybody, but I'm still live on the air. We don't know what's happening. And, I managed to get everybody through this. And this lady comes in there screaming at him in Spanish and starts showing her phone to everybody. Like he's a pussy. Look what I went through.
The only thing that would make her footage even better is if in Spanish, she's telling the National Weather Service, this is indeed a tornado.
Right.
Confirmed tornado. If you're
on the ground, eyewitness news.
All
this
right.
is a tornado.
Continuing with her footage here.
Dios santo. Dios santo.
Ay, por mi madre. I love how she's cursing out.
Right. Well, I would be too.
I mean, I would be too, but
Like if a tree flew by my windshield.
get
I'd
out
be,
of
"Oh,
here,
shit."
tornado! Get out of here, tree!
Right now,
that's scary.
It just looks like she was driving through the car wash with her phone on.
It is.
You know,
Could you
those-
imagine? That's
those
all she's doing.
thuds are just the giant like mop bristles that just flop on the car before the rainbow-colored soap comes down.
Oh, the rainbow-colored soap is my favorite.
Yeah, it's a lot of people's favorite. And then the hot wax. She gets out of the car when the hot wax thing's coming on. And everyone's screaming and melting from it.
Yeah. Although I don't think her car is going to look quite as pristine as if you go through a car wash.
Well, it depends on the detail job that she gets for it.
True.
All right. Moving on. So we go from tornadoes, debris and everything flying around to imagine being on a suspension bridge and something comes flying off a truck from the other direction and comes at you at lightning speed. Well, this happened, and this guy had a dash cam on just to show you what happened. So he's driving.
Oh my God. No, thank you.
That's like Final Destination.
See, I said the same thing when he told me that he was going to do this. When you told me a piece of wood, I'm thinking 2x4, maybe like a small piece of. This is a giant piece of wood.
Yeah,
Right.
This is Final Destination type
So
of stuff.
this guy is on the Verrazano Bridge, which connects Brooklyn to Staten Island, and he's in the opposite part of the bridge, oncoming traffic. This thing flies off of a pickup truck and goes flying. Look at that.
Hold on, go back just a little bit. See if you can.
Enhance.
Something's up. Like are they still? Like no cars are going in the opposite direction. They're stuck. There's some guy
they're
messing
going.
with it. Look at him. But look,
There's a guy right there.
there's a guy trying to hold it on. Like I think the wind from the oncoming traffic is
I didn't
pushing
see
it
the guy
up.
this last time when I was okay.
So he's
the
like, I
wind
think trying to.
All right,
This may be a tonneau cover. This is not even like a piece of wood. I think that's that flat thing you put on the back of a truck for like wind resistance. And I think he's trying to secure it.
I think
and
you're
then
right.
The,
So the
the
wind
rest of the
picked it
cars
up.
go by and flip it up.
Wow.
So yeah, look at this. Yep. Look at that.
Yep,
Oh,
yep.
it's gone.
Look at his arms. Yep.
Oh shit. Yeah, no thank you.
That windshield replacement's going to be ungodly.
Safe light
Jesus.
repair, safe light replace. He had to keep driving because there's nowhere for him to pull over on the
Right.
Verrazano Bridge. There's no median you can drive up on. There's no emergency road lane on the right side. He had to continue from the middle of the bridge to get down to the roundabout way to get onto Staten Island to eventually pull over.
Oh.
So he had to drive like that.
But yeah, that car is stuck and then
Oh
whoop,
my
went right
God.
over.
I am amazed that he kept the car as straight as he did and didn't go like swerving into other lanes.
That's the guy that's good in a crisis.
See,
Good
here's
in
the.
chaos.
You're right, because that is a difficult thing. I was driving. This is a stupid story, but I was driving in a truck once.
Yes,
it was
that
like
is
a Dodge
stupid
Ram,
story.
and I had the window down, and a bee flew into the car and hit me in the face. I panicked so much that I jerked the wheel and smashed into a mailbox and scraped up the side of the truck.
Oh my God.
That little thing caused me to swerve. This guy, the fact that he just kept driving he's a damn hero.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I
That's not
have
easy
a
to do.
similar thing with a spider falling on my face, but I did not smash it into anything.
Oh yeah, I
Thank God.
destroyed it.
Well, everybody in the car was okay. They all survived.
Oh yeah, yeah. Is everybody okay? Yeah,
Everyone's okay.
good. Sure.
I forget that we have now. There's precedent set, so now we have to report on file ups on it.
I started a thing. I know.
Fortunately, no one was injured.
Yeah,
that's it.
All right, moving on. Let's go to a boat crash down, going back into Florida. There, Merritt Island, which is on the East Coast. They have a boat parade going on, and this one guy has one of those car boat hydro combination things. and gets a little rambunctious and loses control. Look at this.
That's not a boat car. That's a... What the hell is that?
That is just a car.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Took the whole back of that other boat that he hit. Snapped the motor.
Ludicrous.
That doesn't even look like it belonged in the water.
I honestly thought some idiot in a sports car was like the boat launch is, but it was too slick, and he just like, oh,
No,
that is...
it's one of those
No, I
car
get it.
boat combinations. Now, here's something else too. So it looks like a sports car, but it's obviously, modified.
Yeah,
so
it looked like a Lambo or some
Right?
kind of...
So there's a guy driving. It's a 2-seat convertible, all decorated in Christmas lights. This lady is sitting on the door, not on the seat, the door, I guess. Right? Let me see. Move her back a little bit here.
Play it. On the door.
Yeah, she's sitting on the door.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
She's up and waving, and she's doing like arm pumps and pelvic thrusts and stuff, thinking they're all cool. He's not even looking at her well-being before he even hits the other boat. He just decides he's going to do donuts in the water and get all reckless with it. All right, she's holding on so she doesn't go flying out of the boat because she wasn't aware he was going to do this. And now here we go.
Oh, just smashed over Grandpa.
Yeah, but you see the back part of the boat here. Look at that. There's somebody sitting on that
There's a person.
the makeshift seat on the back of that other boat. Takes out the platform, the engine, the onboard engine, and the guy goes flying. Look.
Oof.
There goes the guy.
This whole thing simultaneously makes me motion sick too.
Right.
Yeah.
Boats in general.
So I looked it up. These things are called jet cars. So it drives like a car, looks like a car, but technically it's a boat. It's powered by the internals of what you would call a wave runner. So basically it's a jet ski with a car body on it.
Right.
It's got a steering wheel, gas pedal, brake pedal, but it's an automatic, but it controls like a jet ski. Fucking
Is it kind of like the boat from, or not boat, but the car thing from Austin Powers where it comes out of the water?
Maybe.
Yeah, Tom saying, it's a type of amphicar. Like some sort of
So
land
crazy.
cow. The guy was 25 years old. Merritt Island man whose exotic sports car like boating vessel was involved in collision during a long-standing holiday boat parade. Is heading to court on the matter next month. Let's see. He was ticketed by Florida Fish and Wildlife for reckless operation of a vessel in connection with the crash involving his name is Michaels, whose boat collided with another vessel and caused injuries. Court records show he was also cited for speeding in a manatee zone.
Oh, the manatee zone.
He's scheduled to appear before a Brevard County judge. But he was scheduled, but he was absent from the proceedings. Let's see. They declined. Him and his lawyer declined to comment. He pled not guilty to misdemeanor charges. Court records show. Let's see. The crash happened. Let's see if anybody got hurt. The parade, viewed by residents holding house parties and watching alongside the canal, began at these locations.
No manatees were harmed in the process of
Doesn't
this.
look like anybody was really injured. I mean, I
All I care about are the manatees.
That's good.
And the guy that was ran over by a sports boat.
Well, the guy went flying.
He's
so
a distant second.
At least
though,
he
to the
landed on the
manatees.
water.
Manatee zone.
Big Red Tower saying those manatee zones, they always get you. Am I right? Yes, they do. That's why they have them, because they look like oil slicks.
Yes. It's just karma for him. Just add on to his bad karma.
Now, one of Jordan and I's favorite scenes from Police Academy 1 is if he managed to get that car up on 2 wheels on the water and then
get it as he's parking it.
Bring it right in. All right.
Come on, Mahoney, go park this car.
And then he does. Fine. Moving on from the boat crash. Now we get into some more humorous crashes. Because that was sort of humorous. Even
no one got hurt, so it's funny. You can laugh at that one.
No.
Yes.
Let's watch a drunk lady crash a golf cart into a house.
So stupid.
I love that she took off her shoe.
Was she like FaceTiming somebody?
I don't know what she was. She wasn't paying attention. She
this fucking house came out of nowhere.
She hit a Yui almost, like she was trying to do a U-turn on this person's property. Slammed right into the house, went flying forward and then out the side of the golf cart. Manages to get up, and the golf cart's now rolling backwards on the driveway here. So she gets back in.
Whoa!
Oh!
No, it's fine.
The first time?
I was not expecting the second time.
Right.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I was not. Oh, that.
So she goes to save the golf cart from rolling backwards down the driveway. Gets on there, still on her phone, by the way. Has not put the phone down.
Well, she's
this
on
rather
hold.
large woman jumps back into the golf cart. Instead of hitting the brake or just turning the key, because it's not like a real car, she puts her foot on the pedal and goes accelerating back into the house again.
It.
Whiplash, goes flying forward again and then out the side of the cart again.
Wait, I like the sound she made. Ah! They go back right before she does it again, and she just listen.
Casey in the chat, she handled this like she's done it a few times. She probably has.
She knew to take off her shoes.
Now,
flip-flops.
She drives
the camera footage we're watching is a Ring camera.
Oh,
so this is somebody's front door capturing all this, right? Now, take a listen to here after she does her part. Listen to what else is being said. Oh,
I like the way she's looking right now, like she's going really fast.
Yeah. Her arms are bright red from being sunburned because she's a behemoth.
No, I'm fine.
Did you just throw her shoe?
The homeowner, through the Ring cam, says, "Are you okay?" Oh no, need help.
You need help.
Need help?
And Tubby goes,
No, I'm fine.
Throws her flip
I
flop
just ran
out.
into your house. Oh, I was gonna say, what the hell just happened? I ran into your house. With my phone? Yes, your house. Your phone is in here. Okay. You okay? Yes, I'm fine. But also, I tried to back it up, but then I ran into your house again.
She's like, I'm fine.
She's trying to back
but also,
up.
probably not fine. Just, oh my God.
Traveling virus in chat. Yeah, she did. I suspect Florida day drinking. You're probably right. Her upper torso is beet red, so she's
red.
probably hammered and not, obviously not wearing sunscreen or taking care of.
I love that she threw her her shoe out. Like she got kind of back in that second after that second hit, and it looks like she threw out her flip flop. She's like, no, I don't need this anymore.
Right. Now that sound, that bell kind of sound after she hit the second time, Tom from Alberta saying, is she wearing a cowbell? Because it does sound like that. Listen to this.
It's my favorite sound.
There needs to be a sound bite.
All right. Well, I imagine she's okay. It doesn't look like she had any real injuries, but imagine you hear the next day she died from cardiac arrest or something like that. It's like, really? That's the story you didn't think something would happen. But all right, moving on. This lady is at an open air restaurant, being an influencer as they all are, in Singapore.
Some lady in a golf cart came in and hit her.
That'd be great if every clip
every disaster she's
just
involved.
that lady. Yes, fantastic.
I need to video edit better.
She's sitting there doing, I guess, a food review or restaurant review for her social media, and gets bombarded by a pigeon. Watch what happens.
Oh, good. Wait, look at one of my head. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Well, nothing more. Holy shit.
Oh, good.
Oh, I didn't notice that. It's on her.
It was on her head.
It was on her head. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yep, right
Lands
there.
on her head.
It landed on her head. She freaks and shoos it away.
Oh, good.
The bird goes to make a big, wide turn and goes right into a ceiling fan.
Wait, look at one of my head.
Oh.
You just see feathers.
That is an ex-pigeon. You are right, Red Tower.
The pigeon was more scared than she was.
Oh, good.
I'm not even replaying this. This video's looping this over and over. Do you think the people in the table behind her that it's now all covered in feathers, do you think they have to pay for their meal?
Waiter, there's some pigeon in my soup.
I didn't order this. I ordered the duck.
I didn't order the squab.
Yeah, I ordered the duck, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and they just huck a duck into the ceiling fan instead. I mean, it's Singapore. Anything goes.
Hey, I want to hear that lady make that noise again. She's so good.
No, I'm fine. I just ran into your house.
I just ran into your house.
And finally, we'll wrap up this week in disasters with a lady. I don't know what country this is, but she thinks she's a witch, and she's going to use her powers to stop a landslide. Let's see how that goes.
Like Doctor Strange and.
Go over there. Senora. Hey, get back here.
See her over there?
Uh-huh.
What is she? What, she's a witch? What do you mean she's a witch? She's not a witch. Get over here.
I'm not a witch. I'm your wife.
It's a landslide, you dumb bitch. Get over here. No, get out of the fucking way. Get out. Move. Move, you dumb bitch. Run. Run. Wow. Fuck. Oh, fucking shit.
Wow.
I can't believe I snorted. That's so hilarious. So for the radio people,
fuck.
it's a mountainside, cliffside kind of thing where a road is carved off to the side through it. There,
It looks like it's like in a South American country.
There's
like,
a lady.
The kid look Peruvian.
There's
or
a lady
Argentinian.
who walks into the middle of a previous landslide that just happened. She walked in there and is trying to do something, thinking that she's going to prevent the landslide from happening further.
Well, she's the reason why they have signs posted to not be anywhere where rocks are falling.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's watch this again.
Hey, lady, don't go over there. Senora.
Now, this guy who's taping it is saying the one thing. There's other people, other local people there that are, saying what's going on there. I guess it's Spanish, right? And they're all concerned because they're not going into the danger area to get this lady out, and she's putting her hands up like she's got the power of God to try to stop this landslide here. So while he's screaming out there, I guess one of the guys said, he's like, she thinks she's a witch. He goes, what? She thinks she's a witch?
I love the line, it's a landslide, you dumb bitch. Like, it's like the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
All right, let's watch it again here.
Hey, lady, don't go over there. Senora. Hey, get back here.
Get back here.
Senora, caramba. What is she? She's a witch? What do you mean she's a witch? She's not a witch. Get over here. No, magic is not gonna. It's a landslide, you dumb bitch. Get over here. No, get out of the fucking way. Get out. Move, you dumb bitch. Run. No! Wow. Fuck. Oh, fucking shit.
Oh, fucking shit.
Now, at that
It's
part,
my favorite thing
when
in
he
the
goes run, he goes, oh, fuck.
Wow. Fuck. Oh.
The whole mountainside is now caving down. She's standing there, and the landslide consumes her and then throws her over the side of the cliff.
She's fine.
Hold on.
She's
Casey
fine.
in the chat, but is she okay?
Yes, Eric.
Is she okay?
Big Red Tower saying, I'm pretty sure she's dead as fuck.
The landslide, you dumb bitch.
Scrapes.
Enhance!
Hey, lady,
Enhance!
go over there.
Can we zoom out?
Yeah, turn the camera.
Hey, get back here.
Señora, caramba.
What is she? What, she's a witch? What do you mean
No.
she's a witch? She's not a witch. Get over here. No, magic is not gonna. It's a landslide, you dumb bitch. Get over here.
You
That's my
dumb
favorite
bitch.
Get out
line.
of the fucking way. Get out. Move. Move, you dumb bitch. Run. Run. Wow. Fuck. Oh.
Ow,
fucking
fuck.
shit.
Now, Eric, I need you
Ow.
in the late nights that you're going to be working on this show.
Yeah.
I need you to superimpose the lady hitting the house's noise. Right as that lady gets hit by the landslide. I need that
okay?
audio.
All right.
It's a landslide,
Yeah,
you dumb
I'm
bitch.
I know.
Fine, I just hit your mountain.
I don't know if this will fly on Apple, but
it's a landslide, you dumb bitch.
I'm thinking the show title should be "It's a landslide, you dumb bitch."
Dumb bitch.
Fuck.
All right, because right now it's a toss-up between Pink Taco Club and "It's a landslide, you dumb bitch."
That's a good one.
I think all right, I'm going to eliminate Let's Make
Jesus.
S'more Fire because it's not going to beat those two.
Yeah, those two.
But we still have. All right, now that that's it for this week in disasters here, and as always, once we are done with that, we have to kind of cleanse the palate here. We got to have. I mean, we kind of did. That was, I guess, the humorous video to go to. But
poor witch.
We have some stuff that I guess we could use to clean this up.
I also need it in the drops, like when we have all our stuff, I need you to have it where we push a button and it goes, "It's a landslide, you dumb bitch." Like, I need that too. So, right, yeah.
Okay. We can
That's a good
definitely do that.
Oh.
Every time now.
All right, we're gonna do 2 videos to end this
so
segment
good.
before we go to segment 2.
Okay.
Now, if you haven't seen the news today, that the tariff wars, the trade wars, are heating up between our country
Heard a few
and the
things.
rest of the world. Today's focus, the Eye of Sauron, has turned to the European Union, and it's the European Union has said that they're going to be raising tariffs on things like whiskey.
Yeah, American-made whiskey.
No, European whiskey.
Oh.
European whiskey going out to the United States.
Oh, coming to us. Okay, yes,
Right.
sorry.
At least that I think that's what I read. Maybe you are right. I don't know. But I was thinking like, Irish whiskey, Scotch. What's that other shit that's from Germany? I can't think of it. But anyway.
Beer?
Beer?
Is it beer?
Anywho, so Trump put out a post saying that, if they do this, we're going to put out a 50% tariff on alcohol that comes out of the United States. And he says champagne. And if you don't know anything about champagne only comes from one part of the world, and that is Champagne, France.
Champagne region of France.
Right. You can't call it champagne if it's not from Champagne. It's sparkling
cider or sparkling
something like that.
Wine.
Like whatever they call Prosecco, that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
right? Sparkling wine, yeah, something like that. You can't call it champagne unless it comes out of Champagne. So that was kind of goofed on, and I was like, well, let me see what kind of American champagne there is. And lo and behold, I found an ad for American champagne. And now, because of what's going on here, there's a 50% tariff on it if you want to get some authentic American champagne. Here we go.
Kurt Cobain. Champagne.
I'm gonna paint the walls.
Perhaps we should watch it again.
Yes. Was she smelling the cork?
Kurt Cobain. Champagne.
How do you not know what happens with champagne bottles?
She looked like a younger woman. Like maybe she doesn't have that much experience opening that stuff up.
Right.
New Year's Eve, I walked outside and I lost the cork because it just flew. How do you not know?
Sometimes you gotta love the audience and not say what they said. Just let it breathe on the air. Yeah, so you will not be able to get affordable Kurt Cobain champagne going forward in the rest of the world. And then finally, we're going to end with this before going into segment 2. And I don't know if Kira has to go, so we won't keep her much longer if she needs to run. If you want to hang around, you can do that. A new ad dropped today for State Farm Insurance.
I haven't watched the ad, but I did see the lead up to it.
Right, so I kept seeing this whole thing about Batman, and I'm like, they're using Batman to sell insurance. Like I couldn't believe DC would, license all properties to do that kind of thing. I will say that we were a bit misinformed, maybe a bait and switch, if you will. Check this out.
Yo, the Joker.
Continues across Gotham City. It seems our only hope is Batman.
Batman? Yeah, close enough. Bateman. Gotta tell you, the suit really bunches up in the old Batcave, if you know what I mean.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like getting Bateman when you need the protection of Batman.
Easy, Batemobile, not too fast, baby. Riddle me this. What is dusk?
You don't have to answer in the form of a question.
What is dawn?
You don't need to answer like that.
Do something, Bateman! Yeah, okay. Stop. Whoa, cat lady. Time out. Wow.
Nice fanny bag.
Thank you. Rude. What is love? All right. What isn't love,
Just toss him.
Not all protection's the same.
Any last words?
Just one. It's a long one. Dermatologist.
That's why you need the real deal.
Look out! That's Batman!
Go home, Bateman. Do a podcast or something.
That's hurtful.
Vandalism spikes.
Never play with poison ivy.
Poison ivy.
Someone's a flirt.
Bateman, please.
Yeah, this is feeling much more Batman to me.
Are you serious, bro?
When it comes to protection, you wouldn't settle for Bateman when there's Batman. So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm.
Don't touch that.
Well, now I want to touch it more.
Well.
Oh, boy. Party clown. Listen, if we're going to be roomies, no juggling, no magic, no balloon animals. I don't want any weird clown stuff, okay?
Bateman needs a safety whistle.
Yeah, he does. When he lands in that through that trap door, he needs to make the sound the fat lady did when she hit the cart into the house. Clowns. I thought that was well done.
That was pretty good.
Like that
was funny.
Super Bowl level caliber commercial.
Which is weird. You would think they would have had that ready for the Super Bowl and not play it in like randomly in March.
No. But alas, here we are. They're probably like, let's just wait 2 months. It'll be so much cheaper than spending those outrageous prices to get 30 seconds on the Super Bowl when everyone's just going to watch it on YouTube anyway. So,
well, it's weird because they use a lot of like internet personalities. Like James Gordon is, his name is Jordan Howlett. He's the guy that always tells everybody's like secret recipes on Twitter. Not Twitter. He goes on TikTok and he always does these videos like, he knows the secret sauce of like Chick-fil-A and he'll give the recipe and do all that stuff. Like I've seen him a lot. And that's why I was like, I know that guy from somewhere. But like SZA, Kai Cenat, who's like big into the, on the internet and stuff like that. It's like, it's weird to see, like, I don't even know who played the Riddler. Did you recognize him?
Nope.
Yeah, me neither.
Didn't care. I was just watching Bateman.
Now I know Will Arnett played Batman, which was funny because he does the voice of Lego Batman.
Now I want a Bateman spinoff.
Yeah, on an entire series.
Just like I'm good with a one-off kind of thing. Like a one episode, maybe an animated movie.
Yeah.
Right? Or Bateman shows up in Harley Quinn.
There we go.
That would be good.
That works. All right. Well, we are going to take a break. Kira, give out your plugs. We haven't done any of that stuff yet. Tell everybody where to find you and all that.
So all my socials for me is Kira K Radio on everything. And then I have a podcast, Finding My Perfect Awkward, on Twitch and as an audio podcast everywhere you get your podcasts.
There you go. It's just that simple. We're going to take a break. We'll be back for segment 2, television, movies, streaming updates, all that garbage that we go through so that you don't have to. Be right back.
More It's Eric Nagel. It's Eric Nagel. Next. It's Eric Nagel. Follow the show on all social medias at It's Eric Nagel for ways to watch or listen to the show, both live and on demand. Go to itsericnagel.com. It's Eric Nagel. It's Eric Nagel. And it's back.
Segment 2 of the show, Eric Jordan. Kira's joining us for this segment here, where we talk about television, movies, streaming updates, going through all the things for you to consume, for you to avoid, what have you. We've got some very fun news about the new Snow White movie that's coming out. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But as we start segment 2, Kira, we go around the room and we talk about things that we are currently watching. So, Kira, you're the guest. Let's talk to you. What are you currently watching?
Well, Yellowstone, actually. I'm currently watching Yellowstone. I have half a season left, and then I can move on and go back to rewatching Golden Girls for the 100th time.
That's your comfort show?
we can't be upset about that. In fact, I was telling people how you and I, Eric, were watching Love Boat, and we watched Love Boat. So I mean,
I was
I'm
just
all
talking
down
about
for that
that
stuff.
with somebody. Yes, Love Boat, Golden Girls, MASH.
Oh, I love
all
it.
about those,
Yeah, MASH is good.
MASH is timeless.
Where's my Love Boat? I thought I had Love Boat. Did I get rid of Love Boat?
I don't know. Did you have a Love Boat one?
I had Love Boat. Oh, it's gone. Oh, well. Jordan,
you should
what
get
are
the
you...
Golden Girls theme song.
Yeah, but that'll get flagged right away the second you play it.
You're right.
Jordan, what do you
Not if you do the lyrics. I have been watching. So I've watched the 3rd episode of Daredevil. Just came out this past Tuesday. I know you still need to finish that one up, so I'm not going to get into it. I'm enjoying the show.
I'm halfway through the 3rd episode.
It's not bad. It feels like the Netflix show. There are things about it that I'm kind of iffy on. But I'm not going to ruin it for you. So I discovered the show.
I found it.
Yeah, you did.
Scared the shit out of me.
Just right out of nowhere.
Scared me.
Welcome aboard. It's love.
Hi, Captain Stubing. Where's Gopher and Doc? All right. Stupid. I found a show on Amazon Prime. Now, I think the show is about a year old, but I've been seeing clips of it on TikTok, which is where now I find everything. And it's a show called Primo. It's about this Spanish kid who lives with his mom, and like all his uncles are there, and they're all Spanish. And it's actually really funny. Like it feels like a kind of like a Malcolm in the Middle type of show, but it's like an all Spanish cast, and it's really funny. The uncles are hilarious. They're all silly and dumb. I like that one. My kids are on spring break, so I've been letting them stay up a little bit later, and we have been watching a show that apparently has been out for years, and it's got like 6 seasons, but I've just now discovered it myself, so it's new to me. The Amazing World of Gumball. It's some silly cartoon, kind of like a Cartoon Network type of show. It's about this cat and his like friend Darwin, who's a fish, and they live with his parents, and it's weird. It's very, very odd. And it reminded me of another show. So I introduced my daughter to Adventure Time. So I've been watching a lot of Adventure Time.
I was going to say this. I'm looking at it here on the screen. It looks like it's like Adventure Time or the regular show. You remember that?
Yes.
One?
Yeah, I remember the regular. Yeah. So it's very much like that. It's short episodes. It's like 2 episodes per, 2 shorts per episode. It's all very segmented, but it's really fun. Like it's just silly, and it's making my kids laugh and keeping them busy. So it's always fun to find stuff that I could actually watch with them and not feel like I'm going to pull my hair out. So that was fun. And then I found another show that just dropped last week called Desi Boys or Deli Boys.
Yes.
I've seen clips of it.
They've been getting a lot of press this week. I have it saved on, I think it's on Hulu.
Yes. Yeah. So I watched the first episode. I'm enjoying it. I think there's 10 episodes.
The one brother is from... this show I used to watch called iZombie.
I love iZombie.
Yeah,
Are you talking about Rahul Kohli? Because that's not Rahul Kohli.
Yeah.
You racist bastard.
No, yes, it is.
It's not Rahul.
Wait a minute. All right, go ahead.
No, I'm looking at the cast right now. It's Asif Ali, who I've seen in other things. Sangir Shakik is the other brother. Rahul Kohli is not in it. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, it's actually an interesting show. It's like two brothers take over the family business after their dad died, and it turns out the dad was kind of a criminal.
All right, fair assessment, fair attack on me.
Racist.
One, I thought he was from iZombie.
No,
but he's from Ms. Marvel.
Yes, he's the brother.
He's the brother.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. There are 10 episodes. They all came out at the same time. So I'm going to go through that one, but so far so good. I like that one. Yeah, that's all I've been watching.
There's Jake Hudson in the chat there. Hope you like the song. Yes, we played it earlier in the show, Jake.
All 4 minutes. It was the longest in the show.
Oh, yes.
Kira thought it was well done.
I loved it, to be honest with you. I thought it was really good.
She's putting it on her iPod Shuffle as we speak.
It should be a part of a ringtone.
Right.
But yeah, that's what I've been watching.
Thank you, Jake. Go ahead, Kira.
I was just going to say, side note, Jordan, I don't know if you remember, because I don't think we remember either why this is, but speaking of ringtones and things on phones, Eric's name in my phone is Eric Richard Nagel.
Really?
Because there was one of these shows where his screen went blank and everything crashed on him.
Well, that could be any show with Eric right now.
Right, it could be. But it crashed on him and he called you, and then something happened to where Richard was involved, and then it stuck. So now his name in my phone is Richard.
That is hilarious. Oh, that's right. I remember because you were in the chat at the time, and something. Yeah, that's hilarious.
It was amazing.
That is the stupidest story I ever heard, and I've read the entire Sweet Valley High series.
Jordan thought it was funny. At least he's having pity on me. Shut up.
I laughed.
You need to shut your mouth.
Okay, Richard, whatever.
Stop saying things.
Anything else, Jordan?
No, that's all I'm watching. But I'm going to go back to some British television after my lively British television conversation.
Yes, there's a show, and then I'll get into what I've been watching. There's a show I just saw an advertisement for that looks good. Stars our pal Karen Gillan on. I don't know if it airs over at the BBC, but it's on BritBox here. So
is it on BritBox? Okay.
It's called Douglas Gets Cancelled. And then they're like a news anchor team, and a very popular news anchor team. And he says some kind of joke at a party, and then it causes this whole uproar that they want to get him canceled. And he's like, I didn't even say it at work or on the air. So it was like, you can't do, like, it looks pretty fucking funny.
Well, what's great about this show, and it ties into a conversation I was having earlier about Coupling, the other British TV show, is that it has Ben Miles in it. So he plays a character in that. Karen Gillan, Hugh Bonneville, who people have seen on other things. Alex Kingston's in it. So they're kind of doing like a little.
Oh, that's right. She's in the trailer.
The Pawns are in it.
Yeah.
So that should be good. And then Nick Mohammed, who was the equipment manager in Ted Lasso. So he's in that show too. So yeah, it looks like a good cast. I think I'm gonna definitely check that one out.
Yeah, it's on my list to watch. Currently, I'm in the middle of episode 3 of Daredevil. Got to finish that, and I'm all caught up for the brand new episode that's just got released for Severance.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
Oh, I want to watch Severance.
You haven't watched any of it yet?
I haven't watched any of it yet, but I want to.
You will literally go, if you wait till all of it's out, you'll probably go through both seasons in like 2 days. It is that addicting that
It's
you just
Lost
keep
meets
going.
The Office.
It's so good.
It's pretty much that.
Oh, I want to.
Yeah.
So I have that to watch, and I got to catch up on White Lotus, the new episode of White Lotus.
I have never watched any of this show, so I'm gonna have to go out and watch it. Like everyone keeps talking about it.
Well, everyone around here that keeps talking about it all talks about how Walter Goggins is just wearing a Hawaiian shirt with his chest out all the time.
I like Walter
and it's
Goggins.
all dudes, and I'm like,
it's always dudes.
They're all. Was Walter Goggins the Bear Jew in?
No, that was the director, the one that shunned a former friend of mine. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's that guy.
I can't think of his name.
Eli something.
Not Eli Roth.
Yeah, it's Eli Roth. Is the Bear Jew?
Is he really?
He is. Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, Walter Goggins also has another show that's out right now that returned, The Righteous Gemstones.
Yes, I need to catch up with that one.
That
too.
just came back on Sunday, so I have that to watch as well. My cup runneth over with.
I was going to say he's showing up in a lot of things because he played the ghoul in Fallout, so that they're doing that second season too. So he's all over the place.
And if you haven't seen the other Danny McBride show, he's on Vice Principals.
I have watched a few episodes. I haven't gone through all of it.
Also very funny. So you may want to check that out. All right. Moving on. What's out right now in theaters? This movie is getting a lot of positive buzz. Novocaine. I want to see this.
I do too.
I don't want to go to the theater to see it, but I do want to see it when it is available, which is probably 2 weeks on demand, the way everything gets released
at this
right
point.
now. So
yeah, the lead actor Jack Quaid. Yeah, Jack Quaid plays a guy who can't feel pain. So I guess his girlfriend gets kidnapped, so he's off trying to go save her. He's like some nerdy dude, but then he's getting stabbed and all this stuff, and because he can't feel it, he keeps going through it. He appeared at a basketball game the other day, and every time they panned to him, bigger injuries kept happening. So in one scene, he was just whatever, waving at the crowd. He had his fingers bandaged. And the next time they showed him, his arm was in a sling. And the next one, he had 2 casts on because they're promoting the fact that he just can't feel pain. It was pretty good marketing. It was better than what they did for Smile, where they had people randomly just sitting in crowds smiling constantly. So that one's out. It looks good. I mean, it's getting pretty good reviews. So.
I do want to see that. Also in theaters, Black Bag. What is that one?
It's a Steven Soderbergh movie with the guy who played Magneto, the young Magneto.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks interesting. I'm trying to think. Who was Fassbender?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I was trying to think of his name. I just realized I put the wrong background on there. There we go. How dare I?
How dare you?
The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. I was not aware of this.
Yeah, they'll release this, but they won't ever give us the Wile E. Coyote movie.
It'll happen.
Whatever.
It'll happen. Give it enough time. That movie will come out, and somebody has a copy of Batwoman, so we could watch that atrocity when that finally comes out. And then they'll have to pay all that money back for the insurance because somebody got a copy of it. What else do we have here? That's it for in theaters. Out on Amazon Prime, Wheel of Time Season 3. I think I meant to watch the first season and forgot all about this show.
Well, now there's two other seasons you got to catch up on.
Right. So you
missed out.
There's that. I don't think there was anything on Max. Oh, I was watching part of this today, Moana 2.
Yeah.
On Disney
Plus. I've heard mixed reviews.
I've only got about 20 minutes into it before the kid wanted to go and play with Play-Doh. So we'll go back in time. She watches in spurts. She can't sit there for a long time and watch a thing. If it's not Bluey or Gabby's Dollhouse, everything else takes a back seat.
That's fair.
I am really starting to grow on that show, Bluey.
Bluey's good. I was surprised as well.
Love it. Yeah,
so,
a lot of adults love it.
It was fine. It was nice, but I actually have been sitting down lately with her and paying attention to the storylines.
Yeah.
The father, the father character on there is batshit crazy, but hilarious. He's a good dad. He works hard, whatever. But they gave him this little out where whenever there's something involving a puppet and he has the puppet on, the puppet takes control over him and he can't control anything. So the puppet goes psychopath all the time. He has this thing where I forgot what it's called, but the mom purposely hides this puppet away because if this puppet comes out, it causes all kinds of problems. And it's some kind of unicorn. And he found the puppet showed up one day and the unicorn's there. And she's like, oh no, he's back. And then you never see the dad. You always just see an arm with the unicorn puppet coming from behind a table, a couch, whatever. At one point, the mom's sitting there just reading a book, whatever, and the unicorn puppet shows up, and whatever their version of Alexa is, And he goes like, Alexa, play metal. And all of a sudden, playing metal. And then it gets super loud with some kind of death metal. And the unicorn's going crazy. And the mom's freaking out, yelling at the Alexa, trying to turn it off. I went, this is way more in depth than I thought it would be for a kid's show.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I on a recommendation, I started watching it. And I found myself, not even with my kids, just throwing on like 3 or 4 episodes.
Right. Bluey is perfection here.
Bandit's the father.
Yes. They're all blue healer dogs. Since I'm mentioning, I thought I had it here. We're talking about Blue. I do. All right. Since we're talking about Bluey, I'm going to do a quick sidebar about a parent complaining about Bluey.
One of my kids had the balls to ask me why we don't do more fun things like Bluey's parents do. And I was like, because I'm not a fucking cartoon dog. My kid was like, can we make a fort the way they did in that episode of Bluey where the dad dog Bandit made a fort for them using every single piece of furniture they had in their home? And I was like, I'm terribly sorry. I'm not going to be able to do that because I'm not taking human growth hormones and I've shit to do. You know what Bluey's dad does for a living? He's an archaeologist who sniffs out bones. The guy's a dog. It's not a job. It's a fucking hobby. No wonder why he has time to build a fort out of all of their furniture. The question you need to be asking is, why does this dog have all that furniture? Honestly, up until today, I really liked the show Bluey. I had nothing against it. I, for one, have had it with all the unrealistic expectations being put on me by cartoon dogs from Australia. No. It is never enough with these kids, I tell you. Never enough.
Well...
I mean, they're not wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unicorse. Is that the name of the unicorn?
I believe that's either the episode name or the name of the unicorn.
Okay, good to know. All right. So anyway, Moana 2 is out on Disney Plus. Over on Netflix, Kraven the Hunter, which nobody will watch, or some will watch out of curiosity.
I did.
The Electric State is getting a lot of attention because Millie Bobby Brown has been going around everywhere to promote this, and she does not look like Millie Bobby Brown anymore. She's all full blown out platinum blonde,
like 80s blonde hair.
She looks like she's 40 now with the way she was dressing in some of these like old fashioned style cocktail dresses or dinnerware things. And I'm looking at her and I go, they still have season 5 they have to put out of Stranger Things.
Yep.
And I've seen the one of the other kids, Wolf, whatever his name is,
Finn Wolfhard, because like he was in like 4 different movies the last 2 years with Ghostbusters and a couple of things. And I was like, he still kind of looks kid-like. She doesn't anymore. She looks like she's like a Mariah Carey impersonator.
She got married, yeah.
Yeah, it's like John Bon Jovi's son.
Yep.
So if she looks like that, and I think she's only 21 now or something
like that,
how is she going to look in that last season? Like, because you can't hide that, which is why they don't do stuff with child actors for a long time, because they outgrow the role unless they grow with the role. They're supposed to be kids in the 80s. So if she looks like that now, some of the others
in their 80s, got it.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see when that's coming out. Oh, it's probably not coming out till the beginning of next year, because Netflix is being total dicks.
No, they're supposed to be releasing it this year. I just think they're going to do it in parts like they've been doing to keep the hype going.
I hate when people do that.
It's too little too late, I think, at this point.
I honestly, I don't care.
Yeah, I think they
used to
lost
like the show, but I really
all
don't
the
care.
momentum for people giving a shit about that show because they spaced it out way too fucking long. Yes, my thought. And then Plankton the movie, a SpongeBob joint, is coming out there.
Why?
It's on Netflix because SpongeBob is still billions of
Are
dollars.
they on their 35th season or some shit?
25, I think.
Oh, okay. Close enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was it. That was my SpongeBob.
Was that your lady hitting the cart?
That was my Tom Kenny. Yeah. Exactly. I hit your house.
Over at Hulu, the Bill Burr special is available. Drop Dead Years. I saw that Jim Florentine has a new special out. I think his is on Prime. Eliza Schlesinger, we mentioned last week, has a new special out.
Yes,
like there's a bunch of good comedy specials out to go and to see what you want. Next week on Peacock, Wicked is finally going to be made available for the, I guess, the one person who hasn't seen that movie, I guess, so far.
I haven't seen it.
Netflix has Den of Thieves 2, and in theaters, Snow White. So let's jump to the Snow White news to start that off before we get into the rest of the news stuff.
Snow White has been my favorite princess since I was a child, and I don't know.
Okay.
Well, Disney is scaling back Snow White's Hollywood premiere amid Rachel Ziegler and Gal Gadot controversies. So Disney's hosting a Hollywood premiere of Snow White.
Controversy?
She's Israeli.
So that's a controversy?
It is when you're against Palestine, my friend. So
fuck off.
They're hosting a premiere of Snow White on March 15th, which is in 2 days from now as we do this. But the studio won't be rolling out a red carpet like it usually does. The afternoon festivities will include a pre-party and screening at the El Capitan Theater with Rachel Ziegler and Gal Gadot, who play the evil queen. They're expected to attend. However, the red carpet will not include dozens of media outlets usually invited to Disney to interview the cast and creatives at its premieres. Instead, coverage will be limited to photographers and house crew. The studio did not comment for the story, but its scaled back plans come amid controversies surrounding the Mark Webb directed film, which hits theaters on March 21st. World politics have come into play. Ziegler has promoted Free Palestine on social media. At the same time, Gal Gadot, who is Israeli, has become an outspoken supporter of Israel on social media, as well as in passionate speeches, which she delivered on March 4th when she was honored at the Anti-Defamation League's annual summit in New York City. Her quote, "Never did I imagine that on the streets of the United States and different cities around the world would we see people not condemning Hamas, but celebrating, justifying, and cheering the massacre of Jews," she said in part. That is on top of all the bullshit Rachel Ziegler has been saying and doing over the last year and a half.
Yeah, but she's
the fact that she's Latina going, yeah, she really is. I know that they were very, very critical of the dwarves because early on pictures showed a very diverse crowd of dwarves, which then they replaced with digital versions of the dwarves. This production has been marred with so much controversy. I'm surprised they didn't just put it on Disney Plus.
Well, she's had a long history of
she's
pissing people off in Hollywood and the public even before Snow White.
Right.
Remember I was watching the Oscars. It was like a week or two ago. I've seen some highlight clips, and I guess she came out and presented this year, right? And
yeah, I think both of them came out together.
Yeah,
her and Gal Gadot.
And it reminded me of the time where she wasn't invited, I guess, to the Oscars, and she went on social media to shit all over like the Academy and everything else, and was spouting, I don't know if it was racism, but prejudice or something at the Academy. And then all of a sudden they invited her to, at the last minute, hey, well, why don't you just come and present an award? And then she walked out that year, and like it was a big glamorous thing. And then she had to talk about, for this kind of honor to be finally picked, it's like it was all in bad form, the way she forced herself in there. And then coming out there and kind of gloating for that first year she presented. Like a lot of people in the industry and a lot of people who just love movies and everything didn't like her. And there's just been stories since then about how difficult she's been on the set of movies and other projects that she's been in. And this just amplified it.
Well, and she can't ever stop long enough to promote this movie and do all that stuff. Like she keeps saying stuff, keeps clashing with people, even Disney's kind of distancing themselves away from the star of the movie.
Right.
Before it's even released. So it's kind of, I have no care to see this movie. I watched the Lilo and Stitch live action trailer, and it's the first live action trailer of a Disney property that I'm actually interested. None of the other ones have ever appealed to me.
Okay.
And this just looks bad. Looks like really bad. So yeah, a lot of controversy with this one.
All right.
So
what else we got?
Speaking of Stranger Things, the star Sadie Sink, the little redhead girl, she's going to be, she just got cast in Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland. She's joining the MCU.
Who do you think she's going to be?
Logic with her hair makes me feel like she's going to be their version of Mary Jane Watson, because they never actually officially said that the other girl was Mary Jane. They just call her MJ because her name is something different. The other option is maybe a version of Black Cat, even though she's blonde, but mostly that's a wig, so she could be Black Cat.
You think
I don't think they're going to do Gwen Stacy.
Song?
Right. I don't think they're going to do Gwen Stacy. I think Black Cat is the logical choice, or if they do a version of Mary Jane Watson, it's going to be her.
Okay.
Because like he's kind of distancing himself from them. So they don't know who she's going to portray. They are hinting that her role is going to be significant, which is weird because she was one of the early frontrunners to play Jean Grey in the MCU's version of X-Men.
Okay.
So if they've cast her in this, then I don't know who they're going to do. So anyway, so there's that. Did you know that they're making a Spinal Tap 2?
I think I heard something about it, but it didn't make any sense that they would.
Yeah. So it's titled Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues. It's a sequel to the 1984 music mockumentary. It's going to come into theaters like in this fall. Bleecker Street has acquired U.S. rights to the rock comedy follow-up and set a theatrical release of September 12th. The India studio, founded by Andrew Karpin, has landed the rights for the original This Is Spinal Tap, which has been newly restored and re-released in theaters over the summer.
Okay.
After returning to theaters, This Is Spinal Tap will subsequently land on digital and streaming platforms for the first time in years. Directed by Rob Reiner, which is very surprising. Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues. We'll see the original
I thought
cast.
He was one of the ones that wanted to leave the country if Trump won.
He does it all the time. He says it every time.
Got it.
Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, and Harry Shearer reprising the roles as members of one of England's loudest bands. In the sequel, the fictional heavy metal group reunites after 15-year hiatus for one final concert. Reiner is actually going to return to be Marty, who follows them on tour, and they're going to get legends like Elton John, Paul McCartney, Garth Brooks, and Trisha Yearwood to make cameos. I was looking for the trailer for Lilo and Stitch yesterday, and right next to it was the trailer for that. I'm like, this has to be one of those fake trailers that the internet always does. And nope, sure enough, Spinal Tap 2 is coming out in September. Which
we thought it was fake. Remember when they did the Super Bowl tie-in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, okay, this is weird. So we got a follow-up on Matt Pinfield. I know I think like about a month or so ago, we talked about how he was slipped into a coma and his daughter was trying to get, conservatorship basically to take over. He's out of his coma. He's on his way to a full recovery. They spoke with him. He suffered the stroke in January. He's been released from the ICU and is currently recovering in a rehabilitation center in Los Angeles. He issued a statement, "Guys, I'm alive. I'm recovering and I'm going to come back swinging. I was unresponsive for 2 months. Friends were thinking they were going to come and see me for the last time. The doctors never expected me to speak or walk again."
This was Gene Hackman?
Correct.
Okay.
No, Matt Pinfield. I'm alive, everybody. It's just Gene Hackman's corpse.
Yep.
So yeah, Matt Pinfield apparently doing well. He's going to be hopefully making a good full recovery. But yeah, he's doing that, which is surprising because everyone thought he was going to die. So.
Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe is joining the cast of Tracy Morgan and Tina Fey's new NBC comedy. He has joined the cast of the new NBC comedy starring Tracy Morgan. It was announced earlier this morning as we're doing the show that Morgan will play a disgraced former football player on a mission to rehabilitate his image in a new NBC comedy pilot the actor is exclusively producing.
Just recasting 30 Rock?
It feels like that's what they're going to do,
yeah,
which I'm okay with. I love 30 Rock.
Same.
I love Tina Fey, so I think this is going to be fun. But yeah, I guess they cast Radcliffe. He's going to be on the show. He's going to play a character named Arthur Tobin, who is an award-winning filmmaker who moves to Reggie's mansion to film an immersive documentary about the former running back and his life.
Daniel Radcliffe is hilarious. I don't know if you've ever seen an interview with him, but he's
really funny.
Way more funny, than you would think he would be.
Did you ever? So he did a documentary about the stuntman who was his stuntman on Harry Potter that ended up getting hurt during like one of the last movies and getting paralyzed.
Yep.
That was a fantastic documentary. And then he was also, when he played Weird Al, it made me laugh so hard because it's almost the complete opposite of what Weird Al is. And it played so perfectly. Did you end up watching that, Eric?
Yeah, of course I did.
Okay. Yeah, so that was good.
I
so
have
yeah, Radcliffe's great.
My photo with Daniel Radcliffe over there. when I was hanging out with him, How to Succeed at Business.
Right.
When he was doing that on Broadway.
Nice.
Very nice gentleman.
Nice. And then we're gonna. What's up?
Nothing. It's like we already have got information for Weekend Disasters for next week.
Nice. I hope it's Arizona.
It happened right now. It's Denver. When we started the show. American Airlines plane carrying 178 people appeared to catch fire on the tarmac after making a landing at Denver International Airport. So
wow. Way to bum us out.
Yeah, we got material for
Is
next
everyone
week.
alive?
Yeah, is everybody okay?
It seems it, as they're all just standing on the wing.
And a prayer.
Yeah, so.
All right.
Show
and now
never stops.
For our friend Tom in Alberta. Goonies 2, question mark. That's right, Tom. Goonies 2 is officially in the works with Steven Spielberg producing.
Why?
Warner Brothers. I don't know. Warner Brothers has hired a guy I've never heard of to write the script for the sequel. It was announced a couple weeks ago, almost 40 years after the original movie hit the theaters back in 1985. Spielberg, Christy Krieger, and Holly Barrio will produce the Amblin Entertainment movie alongside Chris Columbus, who wrote the original Goonies script. Lauren Schuler Donner, who I've met and she's a wonderful woman, will executive produce. There's no director attached to the sequel yet, and there are no plot details revealed. Now, I know that Sean Astin has been a big proponent of getting this off the ground. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't show up in this movie. So, I don't know. Kihei Kwan has always been, he's popular right now. I'm sure he'll come back for this.
Corey Feldman.
Brolin could be fun. Yeah, he's just dancing around in his
Hear me out.
Band.
Here's what I think the plot of Goonies 2 is.
Okay.
Obviously, they're older. They all have kids.
Shocker.
Their kids go and have an adventure. And it turns out their kids are the ones that discover Pennywise.
Oh.
That leads into the movie.
I was thinking of it also.
Yeah.
Well, they have that new show coming out, I think, on HBO, Welcome to Derry, which supposedly taking place in 3 different time periods. So there's going to be a prequel series to It, which no one cares about.
All right, moving on.
Anyway, so that's it. Goonies 2 officially in the works, and that wraps up This Week in Entertainment.
All right, we are good. We do need to get out of here, so we have to go and do the plugs as we always do. But this time around, Kira, our nation's eyes turn to you.
For my plugs?
Your plug.
Kira K Radio on everything and anything. And then I have a podcast, Finding My Perfect Awkward, that can be seen on Twitch and heard on anywhere you get your podcasts.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on. Jordan, what are your plugs?
Instagram, Blue Sky, X at Jinxed Ronan, Twitch at Jinxed Ronan 79. If you've got yourself an Amazon Prime account and you want to go over to Twitch and use that account to subscribe to this show, it's Eric Nagel. It's not going to cost you anything. Use your free subscription. Subscribe to the show. Help us out. Do nothing but click a button. It's easy. Please do it.
All right. And for me and everything on this show, it's Eric Nagel across the board on all the social medias. If you're listening on the iHeart Radio app, there's a preset thing now at the top. Go and put the show into your first spot. It's like MySpace. Put us in the first spot of the presets, because apparently that means something. Look, if you don't listen to us through the iHeart Radio app, that's fine. Just download the app. It's a free thing. You sign up, put us in there, and delete the app. They're never going to know. Just do that for us. Or if you want to go to Apple and Spotify, those kind of places, leave us a positive review. It does help out the program. And if you want to join us live each and every week as we do the show, our live rooms are open and waiting for you to post your comments, your quips, your queries. Throw your money around like the big money hustlers that you are in our live rooms on YouTube and on Twitch. And if you can't do any of that stuff, watch at your own leisure on YouTube. All the videos are right there, fully produced and ready to go. So that's it. We covered everything, right?
I think everything has been covered, at least for this week.
All right. So Kira, thank you very much for hanging with us this entire time. Don't be a stranger and come back soon.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Jordan, until the next time, everybody.
Be excellent to each other.
And we'll be seeing you.
It's Eric Nagel.
Nice work, everyone.
Sharp broadcast. Really good. Everyone on the floor as well. Really a lot of hustle. I like it.
Alas, we're out of time.
Follow It's Eric Nagel on social media platforms. For ways to watch and listen to the show, or join us for the live shows, head over to itsericnagel.com. Yo, and remember to tell 2 friends so they can tell 2 friends, and they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends. You get the idea.
Keep it real, homies.